Welcome live to Oceanside for this Nassau Conference 1 showdown between the Oceanside Sailors and the Farmingdale Dalers. On the Varsity Media Sports Network, I am Dylan Butler, joined by Ben Turchin. And Ben, it was only a few months ago at Hofstra-Stewart Stadium where these two teams met in the semifinals. It was a historic, record-breaking day for the Sailors, especially their, at the time, freshman quarterback Charlie McKee leading them to a big win. They'd go on and lose to Freeport, but this is a big game for really both of these teams. They've had, you'd say, fairly easy Week 1 wins. This is the first true test for either side this season.
Talked about Charlie McKee, the sophomore in that game, Dylan. 8 touchdown passes, over 500 yards passing, just shy of setting records there in the yardage mark. All eyes on the Sailors this year is on the sophomore. How is he going to prove on an unbelievable freshman campaign? And when the schedule comes out and you see Week 2, Farmingdale's coming to Oceanside, it's a no-brainer. Varsity Media needs to be here. So we're really excited for this contest.
Yeah, it should be a great game. The Sailors you see on our near sideline wearing the dark jerseys, Dalers in their white with the green pants, that traditional uniform for the Dalers. They will kick the ball off going from left to right. Tommy Schmidt is deep, as is Tom Flavin.
Back to return for the Sailors, number 22, Nicky Pladia, and number 3, Thomas Flavin.
This is the first football game of Week 2. Little early start today.
Yeah, all eyes here on Oceanside. There is the opening kick. It is fielded at the 15. Run to the right, and there's a tackle. That run by Nick Pladia, there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, the flag came right as the blocking was happening, so we might get a block here on Oceanside that'll set him back. So we'll have to wait and see what the referee calls here. First flag and the first play of the game.
The Oceanside offense will take the field, and you mentioned led by number 7, Charlie McKee, the sophomore. He's 6'1", 175. Week 1, pretty good week for McKee. Again, in that comfortable win, 15 of 22, 170 yards, a touchdown. He is a 2-year starter. You speak to their head coach, Rob Blount. He says he's the best that we will have in that position, and there's been some very, very good quarterbacks here in Oceanside.
Yeah, I think there's one that made the NFL. I think he played for the Dolphins, so, big shoes, but we're not talking about the NFL right now. We're talking about sophomore year of high school, and this guy has football in his blood, and everybody's excited to see how he does this season.
So 1st and 10 from the Oceanside 19. First pass is complete. Little screen out to the 25-yard line. That was Platia. We'll take a quick look at the Oceanside offense. We mentioned McKee. The wide receivers, Dan Mullen, Dan McCormick, Platia we just mentioned, and Flavin, the running back. A very good one here in Oceanside. Andres Duran. The offensive line, Jackson, Gonzalez, Carlson, Styenson, and Ruggieri.
You mentioned Duran. He's a transfer from Lawrence, going from Conference 3 to Conference 1.
The same two again hook up for the Oceanside first down. Platia with the catch. 2 for 2 for McKee early on.
And Platia is a guy that Charlie McKee went to last year. He may not have been the leading receiver for the team, but he had enough grabs, had a few touchdowns last year, and now is emerging, Dylan, this season as a guy that McKee really likes to go to, number 22. Lines up in the slot on the near side, so keep an eye on him throughout the course of the game.
11-yard completion, 1st and 10. Fake the handoff, and again, Platia out by midfield to the 45-yard line.
And what you love about McKee, again, this is a sophomore, folks. He knows what he's doing with the football as soon as it's in his hands. There's no hesitation. His eyes scour the field, and he makes that decision in a split second.
2nd and 1 for the Sailors. Moving right along. Quick pace for Oceanside. Out of the gun. He now goes right. Another screen. That'll be a first down into Farmingdale territory.
Well, this spread offense is giving Farmingdale all kinds of problems right now, Dylan, early on. Right at the snap on the shotgun, McKee already has an open receiver. Farmingdale's defense is on their toes right now.
That's a 10-yard completion. We'll get you the Dalers defense after this play.
When we have a breath, you
Yeah.
know, this has been fast-paced offense here.
McKee again. Platia breaks some tackles, gets out for a first down inside the 30-yard line of the Dalers.
Well, Dylan, if you look at this, he is lined up in the slot, and nobody is over him right now. Farmingdale does not have an answer for this play, for this offense. They're going to have to come up with something to stop Platia.
Down to the 27. The only break here for Oceanside is for McKee to get the play from Blount and his assistant coaches. Out of the gun. Tucks it down. McKee runs to the left, and he is tackled hard. That was Kevin Wilson with the tackle.
And Wilson had the tackle in the previous play. He's a guy we're going to talk about a lot, both offensively and defensively for the Dalers. He is everywhere around the football. One of the leaders here for Buddy Krumenacker's squad.
Tackle made by Kevin Wilson.
So quickly go through the Farmingdale defense if we can. Franco, Petzold, Levantini, and Shachio up front. We'll get the rest in a second. There's the pass to the right. Duran cuts inside, goes back outside. He is a tough customer to take down. He'll get the first down for the Sailors.
It's just what Conference 1 is thinking to themselves, oh man, Oceanside's got all this talent, and here they get a transfer coming in from Nassau County Conference 3, but Andres Duran is a guy we're going to keep an eye on, not only throughout this game, but throughout the course of the season, Dylan. This is like signing a free agent.
Yeah, Blount loves Duran, and you could see he can catch the football. He's great at running it as well.
They're going to call that complete.
So again, Platia.
McKee's pass complete to number 22, Nikki Clady.
There's a look at Farmingdale's starting defense.
Ball is down at the 14.
We talked about Kevin Wilson, number 34, the senior linebacker. He's been in a lot today, involved in almost every tackle. See, Franco Levantini is a guy that we'll talk about a lot today as well.
Duran in motion. Platia to the outside. He's wrapped up and taken down hard.
Yeah, it was a nice job. Two guys that time for Farmingdale, led by Justin Steinheimer, number 19, wrestling him down.
Yeah, Steinheimer, a senior. 3 tackles in week 1. Also one of several lacrosse players on this Farmingdale lineup.
Third down.
Let's bring up a 3rd and 8 here.
Yeah. And Dylan, this is their longest third down. This might be their first third down, actually.
Yeah, they've moved the ball quickly. This drive started on their own 19-yard line. McKee, plenty of time. Surveys the field, goes over the middle. Touchdown for Oceanside.
Thomas Flavin, number 3, again in the slot, causing all kinds of issues for Farmingdale's defense. And I was fooled by McKee. I thought he was going a little bit longer for a man deeper in the end zone, but number 3 flashed right down in the slot. And Dylan, like I said a lot, you don't want to beat a dead horse, but those patterns, those seam patterns right now are working effectively for Oceanside.
Well, Flavin being serenaded by the 309 just to our left.
That's one of the most popular and biggest student body crowds in Nassau County. And we've got a story behind that we'll share during the broadcast.
So Bergoglio set for the point after attempt. Kick is up. And it is good. So the start, Ben, just about as good as you could hope if you are Oceanside. Here it is again. There's the touchdown pass, 14-yard completion.
Yeah, just right down the middle, easy as pie.
Welcome back to Oceanside. Sailors, the early 7-0 lead. Just precision, Ben, on that first drive for the Sailors. As you mentioned, just that really one third down. The rest of it was just up and down. McKee finding multiple receivers, ultimately ends up in a 14-yard touchdown and 7:57 left. First punch thrown by Oceanside.
And how about McKee? He picks up right where he left off in the semifinal game. That's touchdown number 9 against this team, if you're counting. He's just such a weapon for Oceanside and for Coach Rob Blount, and he's going to be a thorn in Conference 1 for this year and the next 2 years after that. Just a tremendous talent and college prospect that we have here in Nassau County.
Short kickoff. Ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, that was touched by Rob Minetta, number 23, and that was live. But fortunately for Farmingdale, the ball went out of bounds, and that's where they'll take over.
All right, they come out with Nick Lundeen. Buddy Krummenacher, their legendary head coach, says, look, there's a lot of very good quarterbacks and a lot of teams like their quarterback. Well, we like our guy as well, a 2-year starter, a co-captain for the Dalers. And then you see the rest of the offense, McCarthy, Chachio, Ramos, and Smichael, the receivers. Kevin Wilson, will speak a lot about him this afternoon up front. Armano, Terracciano, Pajiro, Milianta, and Hickey. Fake handoff. Lundeen takes it himself.
And listen, they're not going to be as explosive today, Farmingdale. But like you said, they like their quarterback. They like their quarterback-running back combination. You got to respect number 34 and keep the defense honest there. And Lundeen keeping it himself for a couple of yards.
Yeah, again, we'll speak a lot about Wilson. And when we spoke with Rob Blount leading up to this game, that was really offensively his chief concern. Lundeen is scrambling, and he's taken down. Sack.
And that's big number 78, Jared Gonzalez, all 6 foot 300 pounds of him, getting some inside pressure from the tackle position, coming up with a big sack here. Let's take another look.
As he quickly, the pocket collapses, tries to get out. Nothing there.
It's third down.
And already took a while for Oceanside to have their first third down. Now the Dalers face it 3rd and 7. Lundeen goes back. He finds a receiver in McCarthy. He breaks a tackle and gets downfield. There are shouts of holding from the Oceanside sideline. Nothing called, no flags. First down for the Dalers.
What a big target McCarthy is at 6'5", and showing a little bit of wheels there on that play. And that's a big play for Farmingdale. They need to answer offensively. And off the screen, big gainer.
And McCarthy, one of the returning starters for Buddy Krummenacher. He says he has 6, which for him, he says, is a lot in a season. Often a lot of roster turnover, a little movement on the line. No flag. Lundeen, nowhere to go.
It looked like Oceanside jumped off sides momentarily. They could have gotten a flag there. Referees kept it in the pocket. If you were watching the NFL last night, 15 in the first half. So football fans are happy with that. Keep the flag in your pocket, referee.
Logan Lyson, the man-child, as Rob Blount describes him, the freshman with the tackle. Loss of 1 on the play. 2nd and 11 from the 36-yard line. Lundeen fakes the pass, rolls left, and nothing there again. The pressure coming. That time it was Duran.
And he had a guy open in the middle of the field, elected not to go to him. I'm not sure why. Maybe he thought he was covered. But there was a receiver, Dylan, right in the middle of the field, in his zone coverage, had an opportunity there, elected to keep it himself, incomplete pass.
So Dalers, another 3rd down opportunity, 1 for 1. They were pretty clinical in week 1 against Syosset in that 48-7 win. 7 of 10 for 3rd down conversions. That was a game at Don Schneider Stadium. Lundeen, back to pass. Goes over the middle. Another one of his favorite targets. That's number 19.
Actually, I think that was 15 again, Dylan.
Yeah, you're right. It was McCarthy.
And you can't blame him because McCarthy's 6'5". That's a big target out there on the near side of the field, lined up, and you'll see it again. I mean, just look at the size differential here.
The ball will be spotted.
And a nice throw by Lundeen.
Yeah, so 15-yard completion. 1st and 10 from the 21. Off the draw. Running up the middle.
Well, let me tell you something. Thomas Flavin for Oceanside, he is everywhere. Caught the touchdown pass on offense, making all kinds of plays on defense, and that's the kind of athlete you like to see. You want on your team a two-way player that excels. Number 3 for Oceanside. Eyes on him already.
Chaccio with the run, 5-yard gain.
And give Farmingdale a lot of credit, Dylan. You know, this is a big Oceanside crowd today, week 2. A lot happening here at Oceanside, and they're answering the call on this drive.
Man in motion is Chaccio. The ball goes to Wilson. He'll try to run through the tackles, get some of those hard yards. Looks like he might have gotten one.
That's one area that Oceanside has done a nice job defensively so far in this drive. Wilson hasn't beaten them. I think he's got 2 or 3 carries so far in this drive, but not for a lot of yards. It's actually Farmingdale's air attack that's moving the football.
Another third down. Dalers 2 for 2 on third downs. This is a 3rd and 4 from the 15. Trips, or 2 receivers on the top of your screen. Delayed handoff does go to Chaccio. Runs around the corner, gets the first down and more.
Yeah, Chaccio with some room off the left side, finally dragged down. Looks just shy of the goal line, but a nice yardage gainer here for Farmingdale. Again, Dylan, very impressive with the Dalers answering the call here on the first drive.
Tackle made by number 22.
So it brings up a 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. 11-yard gain for Chaccio. So Dalers looking to respond to that opening drive touchdown by the Sailors with one of their own. Lundeen goes to Wilson, cuts inside, barrels forward, and he's in for the touchdown.
That's all offensive line movement right there. They push the pile forward. Wilson able to find the breathing room for a 4-yard touchdown, and the Farmingdale Dalers are in this game.
Yeah, that's the way you respond, certainly, and Dalers needing 10 plays to go down the field for the score.
Let's not forget, Dylan, they had a couple of long third downs that they needed to convert, and they got the job done.
Yeah, they had a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 11 as well.
The AT guy for the Farmingdale Dalers is number 24, Lorenzo Ramos.
McCarthy was absolutely huge on that series for Farmingdale.
Ramos' point after is good, and we are tied at 7. There's another look at the touchdown, and Wilson, he likes that contact. You see him just barreling forward for the 4-yard score, capping a 10-play, 66-yard drive. Farmingdale responds, 7-7, 4:03 left. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages.
Let's pretend like that didn't happen for the sake of my own head.
Now we're back here at Oceanside High School. Want to take a look at some of the key players here that our coaches think could be college prospects. It's our Prospect New York watch list. Of course, we thank Prospect New York State. They do a great job with the New York State High School prospect list for colleges. They do a showcase coming up early in 2020. Obviously, Charlie McKee, Andres Duran, who we talked about, and Dylan, here's a guy we haven't mentioned yet that we will, a freshman, number 6, Logan Lyson. So some 3 names to keep an eye on for Oceanside.
Yeah, Lyson is that inside linebacker of the future for Blount. Again, we mentioned him before. He does have a tackle. Freshman man-child for the Sailors.
And that's what Prospect New York State does so well. They want to find the diamonds in the rough, the younger players, because maybe New York State gets a bad rap here. Maybe they don't land in the right college spots that they're supposed to. But Prospect New York State really doing a great job changing that.
Well, McKee and Duran were part of that showcase that
Right.
Varsity Media live streamed up in Utica. There's the kickoff. Nice return out to midfield, taken down. Big return by Pladia, just out to midfield.
And you see why when these two teams get together, it's electric. It was electric in the semifinals last year. Off the bat, 2 drives, 7-7 on the board. It's electric again as you take another look at that kickoff return.
So just what Charlie McKee needs, about a half field to operate.
Something tells me he could go 99 if he needed to. And Charlie McKee's a guy that he is on everybody's watch list, not a diamond in the rough. a kid that has really progressed very well and is impressive, and you see him on the field. This is my first opportunity. I don't know, Dylan, for you, but it's my first opportunity to see him in action in person, and he's every bit as good as people have said he is.
Yeah, first time live for me. And, I've covered Long Island football for a few years, of course, Sir Jack Cohn not too long ago, and he's getting those comparisons as well. Around the corner. There's a run by Flavin.
Flavin, as they probably call him here at Oceanside. What can't this guy do? Flag on the field.
Thomas Flavin takes the
Generally speaking, when you see that run around the outside and the flag comes, it is a hold. That is the call. So we will repeat first down.
Flag on the play.
It's unfortunate because Flavin has really excelled. Did it in the air with a touchdown. Did it defensively with some tackles, doing it on the ground running, but unfortunately got to cancel out that play.
And you can see by the spot of the football, which goes back to the 35, it's a spot foul in high school, so that infraction was in the backfield.
Against Oceanside. The spot foul brings them all the way back to the Oceanside.
So it's first and 15. First and 14.
24, but who's counting?
My mistake. I didn't see the other marker. It'd be helpful if my eyes were working.
McKee, plenty of time, goes over the top.
Yeah, he was just tackled.
That is a pass interference.
I wouldn't say that's a pass interference. I would just say that's a tackle. That was a tackle made on the play right there by number 13, Nicholas Galasso. And you know what? Maybe that was the right play because he was going to walk in for a touchdown, but you got to wait for the ball to get in the offensive player's hand before you make that tackle.
So that'll be a 15-yard penalty, which more or less will bring them back to the original spot where they started this drive.
You really admire the fearlessness of McKee, though. First and 24, and he has no hesitation at all to go deep on a big bomb play. Not every quarterback would do that, Dylan. Some guys would just settle for 5 yards or 7 or look for somebody in the flat. McKee wants to go the distance, and I think that's what you like about him.
Yeah, I think, looking back at that play, I don't think – I think when Farmingdale looks at that on film, you don't want to get beat deep, but that's the play to make because you mentioned I think that was going to be a touchdown.
Totally agree.
The fake to Duran, and again, his favorite target on the day, taken down hard. That is Pladia.
Well, we all know it. Sorry, Dylan. We all know it by now. RPO, we hear about it in the NFL, in the college game, run-pass option, and here at the high school level they're doing it as well. It was a simple RPO there. McKee kept it, didn't give it to the running back, had a receiver open, and it's a big passing play.
Wrapped up by the ankles by Kevin Wilson and taken down by number 44, Neil Leventine.
So 2nd and 4 from the Dalers' 44. There is the handoff. Look at Duran. Burst up the middle. Duran into space, and no one is going to catch him. Duran for 6.
And how about that, folks? His first home game in his career. Touchdown. Gives them a 6-point lead.
Number 8, Andre Duran takes it 44.
You think Oceanside likes Duran? I think so.
Duran had a great week 1 as well. 13 carries, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions for 33 yards. And that one, we'll show it to you after this point after attempt, but just right up the middle between the tackles, put his shoulders down and barreled forward. Again, the transfer from Lawrence. Same high school, by the way, that Rob Blount starred in.
We did Lawrence last week. Lost to Southside.
Point after is good, so we'll take another look at this touchdown. You see the fake, and again, once Duran gets into the secondary, there was no touching him. He's got that great combination of that speed and power. He goes 44 yards to the house, and the Sailors lead the Dalers 14-7, 2:32 left. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And welcome back to Oceanside, a beautiful late summer. It's not technically fall yet. It's obviously always fall once it's high school football season, but an early start to this one, but plenty of fireworks thus far. Both teams scoring on their first drives. Oceanside with a 14-7 lead, courtesy of an Andres Duran 44-yard scamper. They only needed 2 plays. Of course, you had those flags before, but they go 2 plays for 51 yards. The big play, of course, again, the 44-yard touchdown run by Duran.
And let's take a look at Farmingdale's Prospect New York State watch list as they're about to get the football themselves, Dylan. We've already mentioned a bunch of their kids, and some of these are guys that you should look for. Nick Lundeen, the quarterback, Kevin Wilson, the running back, and Neil Levantini. All seniors, all graduating in 2020. We've mentioned their names already, but they're on the prospect watch list because they're collegiate prospects here for this coming, or next season, I should say.
And Wilson is that great combination of student-athlete where he's got the Ivies, some of them looking at him. He's got Stony Brook and, of course, LIU Post as well. There's the kickoff. It's a deep one as well. Really good one, and it goes into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. So no opportunity for the return.
Yeah, it's rare that you see the ball pass the returner. Usually the returner is further back. In that situation, at the 15-yard line, ball sails over his head into the end zone, and that's where Farmingdale will take over on the 20-yard line. And look, right now we've had 3 series on offense, and we've had 3 touchdowns.
So now a little pressure goes the Dalers' way to try to respond to the second score. They'll start at their own 20-yard line, and you mentioned Kevin Wilson. Look, the Dalers, much like Oceanside has been blessed with great quarterbacks, the Dalers have had some unbelievable running backs. You go back a few years, Curtis Jenkins, of course, Jordan McClune more recently, and Buddy Krumenacher says he kind of thinks Wilson, of course, they're all their own and different athletes, but he thinks Wilson more of the McClune type because he likes that physicality. He will go after it. He'll run between the tackles, but he says don't sleep on his burst. He can get, just like we saw from Duran, he can get into the secondary and he'll be gone.
Right now he's not lined up, and here he comes in motion.
And not much. Actually, a loss, it looks like.
I don't know if that was him or not. No, it was not. So he wasn't even lined up on first down.
Yeah, that was
like
Lorenzo Ramos with the run for a loss of 1.
Here comes Wilson back into the game, so not sure why he wouldn't be there on first, but in on second.
And he's lined up, you see on the bottom of your screen, as a wideout. Trips left for Farmingdale. Throw goes down to the left side.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate right there. Number 12 getting a little tripped up, Jordan Smikely.
Lundeen throws out wide to number 12, Jordan Smikely.
Smikely, you mentioned, of course, a guy who great history at Farmingdale. His older brother just played, Antonio Jr. His dad also played for Buddy Krumenacher, Antonio Sr. So it's a 3rd and 15 now, so another long 3rd down conversion. Dalers 3 for 3 in their first drive on 3rd downs. Lundeen is wrapped up, nowhere to go. The first point of contact was Ruggieri. And that's what you want if you're Oceanside's defense. Not only do you not allow them to move down a little bit and get some momentum, you stop them deep, and you'll get some great field position again.
Ruggieri, one of the captains here for this Oceanside team, and a great defensive play right there, swarmed. And now backs up Farmingdale into their own end zone. They'll have to punt this away, so Oceanside's going to get tremendous field position.
And you got to be concerned for the snap here. This has to be a good snap. It goes out. It'll be a safety. It is a good one. And a good punt, too. Backs up Pladia. Takes a friendly bounce just inside of the Oceanside 50-yard line. So, again, same spot where Oceanside started their last drive, out at the 49.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages.
And welcome back to Oceanside. 31 seconds left here, first quarter. Sailors with a 14-7 lead. You see the ball right at midfield. So again, short field for McKee to operate. Fakes the pass, goes deep, goes over the top. Another flag is down, and this pass just through the hands of McCormick, but it'll be another pass interference. You can see Oceanside is targeting this side of the field, same side that they got the previous pass interference call on. They'll get a second one here.
And it's like pick your poison. What do you do if you're defensively? Because McKee can go really anywhere offensively. He's got so many receivers. Dylan, if you double on one, another guy's going to be open. So kind of Farmingdale, we said it in the beginning of the first quarter, they're a little bit on their heels here defensively.
And Blount likes that, too, about his team. Other than, of course, McKee being a big name, there's no superstars. Of course, you look back a year ago, got a guy like Jake Lazaro who got a lot of the attention. Before that, Dylan Judd. Actually holding, not a pass interference. It'll be down to the 40-yard line, first and 10. But even though Platia right now, or Platia, I should say, is getting more of the touches, you could spread around the wealth on this offense.
And remember, there could have been a couple of receptions if not for the penalties.
Again, same sideline and just through the hands. Good defense there by Schmeichel. Ball just went right through the hands of
McKee's pass intended.
Well, I'll tell you, he played that perfectly. You can't play that any better. He timed it exactly to where the ball was going to be in the receiver's hands. Came over the shoulder for the deflection. That was a clean play. It wasn't a pass interference, and it was a nice job by number 12 for Farmingdale, and an incomplete pass for Oceanside. We haven't seen too many of those incompletes here in the first half.
And you can see, too, early first drive, a lot of short passes, and this time we're seeing McKee kind of spread his wings a little bit, go deeper these last couple of drives. 2nd and 10 out of the gun. McKee, the pressure comes a little bit, dumps it down low. Platia makes a man miss, goes to the outside, first down for Oceanside.
It's so hard when you're in the open field to make that tackle, and he had a stutter step and plenty of room to run for the first down. Nice job by Oceanside. You'll see it again right here.
And McKee wants them to move this one quickly down to the 17-yard line. McKee goes to the right, finds Mullen.
It's a little pass right in the flat there. Keep things moving. Keep it into a short 2nd and 3rd situation.
And that'll do it for the first quarter. A lot of action in this first quarter, most of it going Oceanside's way. Sailors lead the Farmingdale Dalers 14-7. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And welcome back to Oceanside. Dylan Butler, Ben Turchin here. We thank you for joining us. It's a good one so far. We expected it to be so. The Sailors leading the Dalers 14-7 after the first quarter. Recap some of the scoring. Oceanside, 14-yard touchdown pass from McKee to Flavin. Capping an 81-yard drive, made it 7-0 Oceanside. Farmingdale came right back down, 10 plays, 66 yards. A 4-yard touchdown by Kevin Wilson. Oceanside short field on the next drive. Pass interference penalty sets up a 44-yard touchdown run by Andres Duran, and that's where we are, 14-7 for the Sailors.
And we've got a 2nd and 4 situation here. They can get a first before they score a touchdown, so Oceanside in great shape offensively yet again.
McKee gets the play from the sideline, backs up, He's got Duran on his left hip. Duran just acting as a blocker. He goes over the middle, and that'll be incomplete. Again, they'll look to Pladia, the senior co-captain. Week 1 was a slow week for Pladia. 2 receptions, 14 yards for the two-year starter.
Yeah, and he's got way more than that already today. On that play, you see McKee trying to lead him towards the post there, but great coverage, a little pressure coming McKee's blind side, also on the route. Give Farmingdale credit here, and they've done this twice a little bit here defensively. Get a little tougher now as we get closer to the goal line.
Well, again, Durant to the left. McKee fakes the handoff, goes a little screen pass. Will it be for the first down?
Yeah, he's got enough.
Completion to Tommy Schmidt.
Schmidt, another captain on this team. They're saying 4th.
Well, looks like they might have a...
I mean, where he caught it was
no, you're
clearly
right,
on the
it is,
5.
yeah.
I don't know how they could not say that's a 1st and goal.
So they do give it 1st and goal.
Completion puts the Oceanside Sailors in a 1st and goal situation.
From the 5. Duran wrapped up. D-line steps up big on that play, pushes them back.
Well, Sean Petzold had the pressure, number 77. He's a little upset with himself pounding the turf because he didn't make the tackle, but if it wasn't for that penetration by the junior, 6 foot, 300 pounds, they don't make that stop. So give 77 credit there for the Dalers.
Now, Petzold started a few games a year ago. 2nd and goal for Oceanside. A lot of motion. Everybody now to the right. That's where McKee rolls. The pass is Flavin. Good tackle to stop the touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Farmingdale should allow Oceanside to have the ball inside the 10, Dylan, because their defense emerges and is just so good. That time, number 19, Justin Steinheimer, with an unbelievable point-blank tackle. And just like that, we had 1st and goal in the 5, Dylan. Now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, 2-yard gain. 3rd and goal from the 3. Mentioned Steinheimer, the senior. 3 tackles in week 1. Also a defender in lacrosse. We have a timeout. Timeout by Farmingdale.
Timeout taken by the Dalers. Their first charge.
So, Ben, you mentioned week 1. Lawrence and Southside. And, of course, here we are in Oceanside. A nice slate of games ahead for the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Yeah, today was a no-brainer game for us on the schedule. You look Friday, and you see Farmingdale Oceanside after we talked about it. What a job the two teams did last year in the semifinals. We'll announce games as they go on next week and the weeks after that. I know we're in Glen Cove next week. It's homecoming. They're expecting close to 2,000 people Friday night there. We've got some big games coming up. Seaford at Cold Spring Harbor. We might see Oceanside again at Freeport. So you just want to stick with us here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. All the games are free on the YouTube channel that you're watching right now, which is youtube.com/varsitymedia. And as always, we always appreciate the community watching the streams as we try to bring you the best that we can around Nassau County.
Yeah, when you talk about Nassau Conference 1, of course, I think the conversation starts with the defending champions, the Red Devils of Freeport, and you speak to either of these two coaches, they both say, listen, they are the prohibitive favorite, but Oceanside, Farmingdale, Massapequa, these are all teams that are vying. They could be right in that. They're all right in that mix as well.
Well, I think what could happen is you may get another rematch in the semifinals of these two teams, Oceanside, Farmingdale. If seeds work as they are supposed to, Freeport will wind up with the 1, and these two can wind up dealing as the 2 and the 3 going into sectional play or conference playoff play.
A big 3rd down here, 3rd and goal from the 3. McKee, as he always is, in the shotgun.
I'd give it to Duran here. Let him go up.
It does go to Duran. A little trickery, a double flick, fake pass. Pladia, though, is wrapped up. Nothing doing there for the Sailors.
Was that the Philly special with the extra cheese? What was that play all about?
Well, Blount is known certainly to have a lot in that trick playbook of his. That's the first time he's dug into it off of that timeout by Farmingdale.
Let's take a look at this again. This is wild because they do wind up giving it to Duran. He goes up. You never know. So it's
the way that Pladia looked here, looks like he was maybe looking to throw the ball.
Right. I think they were looking for McKee. McKee in the corner of the end zone, but good coverage by Wilson.
That's a 4th down.
And again, Dylan, you got to give Farmingdale a ton of credit defensively. But they will go for a 4th down. So our Coach Blunt's going to talk it over. So far, these 3 plays have been very impressive for Farmingdale on the defensive side.
And, you know, they've had some issues, especially vertically, with this offense of Oceanside. But when you get down inside that red zone, they've been very difficult defensively. And what this would mean perhaps for momentum if the Dalers can get a stop here.
Yeah, I mean, that for momentum would be unbelievable. Get the ball back, not go down by 2 touchdowns. And like you said, Coach Blount has some tricks up his sleeve. Here now, you know, I don't know that you want to do that. The slot has worked in the first quarter. Passing the flat, McKee moving, a little motion. I don't know what you're going to roll out here maybe. So we'll see what happens.
Maybe a little power for Duran. You called it for the last play.
I would have liked to see that on the last play, but now 4th and goal from the 5. Farmingdale's defense has been so good inside the 10. I don't know that you get away with that. So I'm putting the ball in McKee's hands, maybe on a rollout. Maybe you're looking for 3 or 22. That's been effective in this game.
So again, both teams off comfortable Week 1 wins. Farmingdale at home beating Syosset 48-7. Oceanside went on the road. They beat Hempstead in Week 1 as well. And Buddy Krumanacher, funny in our conversation with him, he said, look, if you watch the film as we did leading into this game, he said both teams look amazing from Week 1. Now is the true test for both, at least the first real good test of the season.
And it comes early, too, in Week 2.
So McKee, an empty backfield. Trips left, 5 receiver set. McKee options, and he's taken down. There's the sack. Big stop by the Dalers defense. A collective sack for the Dalers.
Again, I don't know how much more credit we can talk about and give to Farmingdale. They were outstanding on that defensive front there, or defensive series inside the 10-yard line. We'll take another look.
Yeah, I think Nick Franco, number 52,
Number 24, Lorenzo
got in.
Stops the 4th down.
And here we see again
Turnover on downs.
good coverage, and there you see the sack by the Dalers.
Yeah. Lorenzo Ramos, 24, coming in on some sort of blitz from the secondary. And then the rest of the defensive front cleaning it up. For Farmingdale to make that stop on a 1st and goal from the 5. What a job by them, because now trailing only by 7, Dylan, they have an opportunity to get back on the board and tie this game.
All right, so they get the ball at their own 10-yard line now. Lundeen. Hands off to Wilson. Wilson. Nice tackle, because that would have been for a few more yards.
Eric Maish, number 19 for Oceanside. If he doesn't get that hand in there, you're right. He's going for at least the 1st, if not more.
It's like a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 from the 14. Lundeen to the outside. Another short gain, short of the 1st down marker. That was out to Chachio, the junior, 2-year starter.
Now Oceanside can get a big stop here on 3rd and 1.
5-yard gain, 3rd and 1 from the 18.
3rd down.
Handoff goes up the middle.
I don't know.
The push comes from the offensive line. Let's see where they will spot this one. Looks like it'll be 4th down, so they didn't get the necessary yard. And this deep on the field, looks like they will punt it away.
You have to. You have no choice. That's a big stop by Oceanside.
Yeah, that's the response you want, especially after being stopped at the goal line. So no harm, no foul for Oceanside on that being stopped. Pladia gets the ball at about the 45. He's run out of bounds by the to the Farmingdale sideline.
Could have got a late hit there.
Flag on the play.
Oh, we did get it. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a late hit because he was tackled way out of bounds.
Yeah, so this could be really costly for Farmingdale because the ball, it looks like, is just about at the 45, 15-yard penalty, if that's what is being called, will bring them down to the 30. Here we go. Personal foul. Late hit on the defense. So you're right. 15-yard penalty puts Oceanside in pretty good position here for their second drive of the second quarter.
All right, so Oceanside gets another opportunity here. They've been so good from 20 to 20, and you've seen this from time. Offenses sometimes sputter a little bit, and they're gonna get a great start here.
So Oceanside will start this possession just inside the 25 to the 24-yard
The ball will be spotted.
line.
24-yard line.
So how about that momentum change, right? For Oceanside, you get stopped, then you stop the Dalers, a good return, plus the personal foul, and another short field. Really the shortest so far for McKee and the Sailors. Trips right, McKee, back to pass, goes over the middle. That is complete inside the 20-yard line. Pladia again.
He's the go-to guy, and we talked about it. That's been a successful play for Oceanside throughout this whole first half.
The tackle made by Kevin Wilson.
6-yard gain, 2nd and 4 from the 18. McKee, again, Pladia. He's wrapped up as soon as he makes the reception.
Because there is a flag on the play. I think we're going to get a motion prior to the snap there. Looks like Flavin was hesitating. One thing about McKee on that play, the ball was out, Dylan, before the receiver even made the break. That's a big-time throw.
Yeah, I think the two things that really stand out, or three things. One you say is poise, two is his feet, and we'll take another look.
Look how he gets rid of the ball before 22 even turns around for it.
Yeah, and that's the third part. The penalty does go against Oceanside is his quick release. Those are things that I think any college recruiter likes, especially from a sophomore.
I'll add to quick release timing, because timing's a big part as well. Receiver making the break. You have to know you can't throw the ball after he makes the break. You got to be throwing that thing anticipating when he makes the break, and that's what McKee did on that play. And that's what he has in his toolbox, so to speak.
So the penalty brings Oceanside back to the 29-yard line. McKee rolls, goes through the hands of his intended receiver, Pladia. There looks to be a player down for Farmingdale.
Yeah, Petzold down on the ground, number 77.
Welcome back to Oceanside. 6:37 left here in the second quarter. Petzold still being administered to or he will now be brought off the field by his teammates.
Yeah, you hate to see this. He's having such a good game so far. He had a big tackle, penetration, And this is a big loss here for the Dalers, having him come off the field.
Favoring his left leg, it appears. He's being helped off by teammates.
And not only that, Dylan, from a defensive standpoint for Farmingdale, they lose a big-time player here. They've had a big stop. They had some momentum defensively, and to lose him, that hurts.
As we get set to restart, 3rd and 15 now for Oceanside. You mentioned the Sailors team that really hasn't had to deal with a lot of long third down opportunities. This, so far, the longest. Trips right, the bottom of your screen. McKee back to pass, pump fakes, goes to the right. That's another pass interference penalty. So those 15 yards they needed to get a first down, well, to get them one way or another, they get it off the flag.
I feel like if you're here to watch this game and see McKee, he is showing you all different skills that a quarterback has. That time, an unbelievable pump fake just to get the secondary to bite, even for a second, and it works. There on the other side, though, there's a tackle, which Farmingdale has done twice today, and I think, Dylan, we could safely say if they don't make that penalty, it's a touchdown.
Yeah, Steinheimer for the pass interference there.
You talk about a lot of names around Long Island. People know Drew Guteri from Connecticut. People know Dan Villari from Plain Edge, both seniors. Charlie McKee should be on that list, folks. If you haven't heard about him, you're watching the stream for the first time, seeing him, maybe you didn't catch on last year. This is a guy that belongs on the list, if he's not already, which I think he is, Dylan, but he belongs on the list of the top quarterbacks, regardless of class, on Long Island. And maybe the state.
So 1st and 10 from the 14. Faked handoff. McKee goes over and again, right into the hands of the receiver. That was Danny Mullen. In and out of his hands, 2nd down.
There's a flag on the play, but on that one, again, here's a situation where you have the ball and you're looking, or I should say, you're looking down the field before you bring the ball in. Mullen was excited because he had a touchdown if he makes that catch.
And it's going to be against Oceanside.
Well, one thing about the Sailors, with this quarterback, you're never too far behind a first down. That much we know. 1st and 20, 1st and 15. You know that Oceanside, between Rob Blount's play calling, McKee's arm, and these receivers, they can get the job done. It doesn't seem like it's too big of a task for them.
I don't think either coach right now will be happy, certainly with the penalties when they go back over this film.
Well, I think we've kind of hit like a lull in this game a little bit. Things got off to a fast start. 3 consecutive touchdowns back to back to back. We've had a stop on 4th down, and since then, Dylan, really hasn't been too much action or scoring, obviously. Since then, it's kind of been a 5-6 minute dull. But you're right, penalties, late hits, holding calls, pass interferences, illegal motions, and all that is kind of why we haven't seen another touchdown yet.
And that one was an offensive pass interference, brings it back the same 15 yards that Oceanside gained on the the defensive pass interference. So we're back 1st and 25 from the 29.
Round and round we go.
McKee over the middle. Pladia! Touchdown, Oceanside!
All Pladia did was split the defense. He passed Wilson. He passed 19 for Farmingdale. And with the perfect throw, touchdown.
Well, that goes 29 yards for the Oceanside touchdown. And again, McKee to Pladia. We've mentioned that on numerous occasions today. And the great thing, again, about the Oceanside offense is that right now in this first half, it's Pladia who's the guy, but there's so many others who can pick up, whether it's McCormick or Flavin or Mullen or they're going to go for 2. And just as we mentioned, Pladia will get 2.
The surprise 2-pointer taken into the end zone by Nicky Pladia.
Let's take a look at the touchdown play, Dylan.
Take a 22-7 lead over the Dalers. There is 6 minutes.
There he goes, beating the secondary wide open. Great throw, too.
So that's a 29-yard touchdown pass from McKee to Pladia. He also gets the 2-point conversion. Oceanside opens up a 22-7 lead. 6:20 left here in the second quarter. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Oceanside. Dylan Butler, Ben Turchin here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Oceanside leads 22-7 in this clash of perennial powers here in Nassau Conference 1.
A lot of work to do if you're Farmingdale right now offensively. Kind of almost have to open up the playbook, and here's why. I know it's early in the game, but you're down 2 touchdowns, Dylan. This could easily be down 3 touchdowns, down 4 touchdowns. So Farmingdale, while they came out a little conservative, I thought, running the ball more, I think that we're going to have to see the ball in the air.
Now, again, that doesn't mean you can't go to Kevin Wilson because he can be used as that option receiving the ball out of the backfield.
And you could also use him, like you said, yes, you could use him out of the backfield. You could use him on a big play situation if you have it, like we saw with Durant splitting the defense for a 40-yard touchdown. But, you know, you got to expect that we're going to see a lot of Will McCarthy, the big receiver, number 15 for Farmingdale. I would expect him to be involved in the offense.
Chaccio and Wilson are deep. Bergoglio's kick goes fielded by Wilson at the 15-yard line. Gets ahead of steam. Wilson gets into the secondary. Nice run past the 45-yard line. So 30-plus for Wilson as the Dalers will start just inside their own 50.
Plenty of time here in the second quarter for them to engineer a drive here. And if they could get 22-14, 22-15, stop Oceanside going into the locker room. If you're Farmingdale, I think you would take that.
And remember, too, they'll get the ball coming out for the second half as well. So 46-yard line, they will start. But you get the feel, even though we're still early, that this is a big possession here for Farmingdale.
I do get that feel. I completely agree. And I think they need to come away with a touchdown. Not just points, not 22-10, but an actual 6 points, 7 points, even 8 points on the board here. So let's see what they do offensively.
Lundeen, man in motion, goes to Wilson. A little bit of a delayed handoff, and Wilson still going and gets out for a first down. That is Kevin Wilson right there, that power runner.
Kevin Wilson.
How did he come through that pile? Like you, I thought he was tackled, and then, sure enough, getting the first down. What a run.
Well, you always teach kids at certainly any position, but especially at the running back position, to keep those legs moving. That's what Wilson did there. First down at the Oceanside 43-yard line. Lundeen fakes the look to Wilson. He goes for himself. Lundeen takes a look, and he's going to be taken down. I think that look actually stopped him from perhaps continuing to go. Nice tackle by Maish. But a big first down for the Farmingdale Dalers.
Well, listen, I sound silly because I said let's put the ball in the air here, and there's 2 runs, and they're right in the red zone. RPO keeps it himself, wide open, no defenders around. Great offensive call.
This gives him a first and goal from the 8. Wilson is stopped just before the line of scrimmage. Looks like it'll be a loss of 2 yards.
And Dylan, it's real interesting because they've had 3 plays on this series, and all 3 have been runs.
Second and goal.
Maybe Buddy figured, well, if they're going to think we're going to throw, might as well confuse everybody.
And if you're trying to play the clock management game, there's too much time left for that to happen. So Oceanside's going to get the ball here, whether Buddy wants it or not, late here in the second quarter.
Lundeen. Here comes the pass. Goes over the middle. Complete. Breaking a tackle and getting forward is number 24, Lorenzo Ramos.
And Ramos doing a nice job to shake off a defender to gain even some more yardage. It's an unbelievable series. As we take another look at it, you'll see Lorenzo here in a second. Nice step up by Lundeen. And there you go. Shrug off the defender. Get a couple more yards. Never give up on the play. You like to see that. But it's just an unbelievable series here for Farmingdale to answer like this.
Third and goal. Wilson runs right. This time he is brought down. Fourth down for Farmingdale.
Just a host of Oceanside Sailors there to meet him. And I said you can't come away with 3 points here. You need the touchdown, and I would expect Farmingdale to go for it.
Wilson's run is stopped by the Oceanside
And this is a pivotal play here. You see just 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. The deficit 22-7 for Farmingdale.
Farmingdale Dalers.
You wonder if they might not use a timeout here.
I think they did. I think Buddy did call the timeout, which is a smart play. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Make sure you know the play call, the best one. What is the quarterback like? What is the running back like? What do we like to do in this situation? Because, Dylan, we can't harp on it enough. You need the touchdown here.
Well, Ben, we've got options, right? You mentioned. So Wilson, you would think, would be option one, but of course, the Sailors thinking that as well. They've not used McCarthy on this series. Their big 6'5" senior receiver. He's certainly a possibility. Schmeichel, the sophomore, is 6'3". So two guys who can use their length and maybe a lob if you want. Of course, Lundeen, we've just seen earlier, he could take it himself and run the football. So plenty of possibilities for Farmingdale. But you're right. I think anything but the end zone here. Really, I mean, that's such a momentum shift back to Oceanside. And if Oceanside scores again here, I don't know if you get that response for the win or to stay in the game for the Dalers.
And I think I'd be looking for a run-pass option here. I'm keeping it in Lundeen's hands. I wouldn't be surprised if off the RPO he keeps it himself like he did on that big gainer, walks into the end zone. So that's one of the first things I'm looking at because Wilson's involved in that play. And maybe they're talking about that right now.
So here we go. 3:54 to go, second quarter. A pivotal play here for Farmingdale. Lembo is there as well. He's to the left. Wilson behind. Man in motion is Schmeichel. And there's the lob. Wide open and incomplete. There was two Dalers there. That was the double tight end set. Levantini unable to make the catch.
There was a little bit of play action there, a little misdirection on misdirection, but in the hands of Lundeen. Fakes it, had two guys, Dylan. You hate to see that, two guys in the end zone.
Now take another look. You see the motion. Draws the Oceanside defense the other way. Wide open in the end zone was Levantini. Also, there was Lembo, so that's a tough break for the Dalers because the play call was perfect. You had two receivers right there, and Levantini, again, he's more kind of known as that defensive guy. You bring him, you give him an opportunity here to make a play.
I mean, the play was there. It was just overthrown by the quarterback. The play was there, and the killer on that is not only did you have one offensive receiver, you had two. And unfortunately, it was overthrown in the back of the end zone. Maybe if it was underthrown, you would have had the guy closer to catch that, but just a tough break by Farmingdale.
So McKee works out of his own end zone. Pump fake. He's got time. Little miscommunication there, it looks like, as Pladia looked inside. The ball goes over his left shoulder, incomplete.
Yeah, I think he had pressure there, sliding a little bit to his left, and had no choice but to throw it out of bounds. And again, that in itself, that play alone, again, shows you the kind of skills that Charlie McKee has.
Although if you're thinking here, they need a good snap, right, to make sure it doesn't go in the end zone. That's not a problem here. Casey Carlson, their senior 3-year starting center. Blount calls him the quarterback of his offense. He calls all the plays at the line. Says he's not had a bad snap in his 3 years as a starter. Not to jinx him here, of course.
Right.
Second down. McKee quickly goes to Pladia. It goes off his hands, and it's dropped. Wow, it looked like it might have been an interception. Dakota Mathis, number 6 for Farmingdale, had a play on the ball. A wild sequence. We'll take another look here.
How much more unlucky can Farmingdale be? 1, 2. Two guys touch that ball for the Dalers and can't come away with it. Not to mention Oceanside kids, too. Little play hot potato there.
All right, so now if you're Farmingdale, right, definitely need to make sure you get a stop here. You should then get good field position. Still plenty of time left in this quarter. And there's a sack in the end zone. It's loose. And this should be a safety here for Farmingdale. So the Dalers respond defensively. They'll get 2 on this play, and that was one where they came hard. We'll take another look but the pressure came from the outside. Yeah, untouched.
Yeah, he didn't see him. Got blitzed.
That was at Levantini.
And, hey, Farmingdale didn't come away with the touchdown before in the 4th down. They get 2 points here, and they get the ball back. I mean, all things considered, we said they were unlucky. That's probably the best you could hope for after the missed 4th down and after not coming away with the interception.
And, again, we mentioned they get the ball back to start. Right. There's still 3:27 to go, but they'll get the ball back to start the second half as well. So
exactly.
This could be a big momentum change here for the Dalers.
And let me just try to do my math here. That 2-point, that safety eliminates the need to have to go for 2 just to stay within a touchdown here. So if they do score a touchdown, Buddy doesn't have the pressure of, hey, Rob went for 2, now I have to go for 2, because as ironic as this is, he got it 2 in a different way.
Yeah.
Got on the defensive end. And so, I think that takes a little pressure off. First, the touchdown, though. You don't want to get ahead of yourselves, but this is a nice spot for Farmingdale. They get the ball back. They moved it offensively. They just got stuck on the 4th and 1. So they got to be feeling pretty good about themselves right now.
And for that to come directly after a sure 6 points is such a momentum boost for Buddy Krummenacher's Dalers. Funny things, too, in our conversation as we'll get set for this kick. Ask them do you mention to the guys at all that semifinal loss? Was it 62-33 to Oceanside, his revenge? He said, listen, we don't look back in Farmingdale. Maybe the guys might be into it in terms of that game, Oceanside's home opener. He said the only time you look in the rearview mirror is when you're driving your car. He said we don't do that. We go forward. He says I do it in my personal life. We also do it down by down at Farmingdale. I think that's a good message to have for his players.
And they have a lot to look forward to going forward here in the immediacy, because they're getting the ball. They're going to have, hopefully, decent field position for them and plenty of time to work with here.
So again, Chaccio and Wilson deep for this kickoff. Braguglia to do the honors for Oceanside. Little squib. Good recovery. It's funny, too. I was literally about to say to you, their first 2 kickoffs against Hempstead were onside kicks that they recovered. An interesting situation here where they look for, again, a little bit of trickery. Good hands up front for Farmingdale. And the Dalers will start this drive at the Oceanside 32-yard line.
If you're Rob Blount, I just respectfully disagree with that. You've got a big lead here. You're at home. Things are going your way. Why would you want to give Farmingdale a short field to work with here, which is what they're going to get at the 32-yard line? I mean, you understand it. You know the reasons why he did it. You want the ball always. Just from a momentum standpoint, I don't know that I agree with that call.
All right, big chance for here for Farmingdale. Man in motion, Chaccio. The fake to Wilson. Chaccio, it goes behind them. Ball's in the ground. The fumble is recovered by Oceanside.
Dylan, how many more twists and turns can we experience in this game in the span of 5 minutes? 4th down incompletions. Hot potato. Unsuccessful onside kick safeties, and now a turnover.
Here we see again, man in motion, the fake to Wilson. The ball goes behind, it's on the ground, and Lyson is the one who recovers it.
He also caused it. Logan Lyson's one of our prospect New York State watch list kids today in this game at the linebacker position, only a freshman. Not only did he have the pressure that forced the late pitch, but he also recovers the ball. Unbelievable job by 6 for Oceanside.
Now you wonder here if Oceanside doesn't go for a dagger maybe right away with Farmingdale reeling off of that turnover. 1st and 10 from their own 43. 3:18 left in the first half. Instead, it's a run option. It goes to Duran. He powers forward. Looks like to the 49-yard line.
And I'll tell you, he likes running behind big number 78, Jared Gonzalez, all 6 foot, 300 pounds of him, the senior. Plowing some holes there for Duran to run through. And now Wilson Dillon is hurt, and that's a player Farmingdale cannot afford to have injured in this game.
Yeah, you mentioned Gonzalez, 6 foot 300, 3-year varsity player, 2-year starter. He's primarily a nose guard on defense, but because of some injuries, he's had to also play on offense. Blount was concerned with giving the big fella a lot of snaps on both sides of the ball. He wanted to give him a little bit of opportunity to rest here in this first half. And as you mentioned, Wilson is down for Farmingdale. And we'll take a quick break. 2:58 to go here, first half. Oceanside 22, Farmingdale 9. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Oceanside. The good news for the Dalers, we saw Wilson, who was down injured and had to be checked out by the trainer, leave the field without any assistance. 2nd and 3 now from the 49-yard line for Oceanside. Up the middle goes Duran. He gets a few. He'll be just shy of that first down marker, 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Nick Franco, 52 for Farmingdale with the big tackle there, short of the first.
Yeah, Franco, the number 2 wrestler at 195 pounds in Nassau County. That will be a first down run for Oceanside.
One of the things that you're noticing about Duran is the hard-nosed runs. And I think Blount's going to have confidence in him on a 3rd and 1, on a 3rd and 2, goal line situation, Dylan. You can give this guy the ball and feel confident.
I was sure that it was a first down.
So was I.
The officials are calling for a measurement.
I know there was pushback there late on the play, but I thought he had cleared forward momentum.
Yeah, I agree.
Would have been enough for the first down.
Well, the chain crew will get a little workout.
See if we get a look at this here.
Here we go. We will get a good
short.
look, and
Wow.
he is just short.
Wow. So now another decision. You got to think he's going to go for it. If he did the onside kick, he'd go for it here, right?
I think so, yeah.
Short of the first down marker. It'll be a 4th down.
And you know what? I go right back to Duran. I mean, he has gained positive yards on these 2 carries, so why change it up here? Power back. Either that or an onside, QB sneak. Although they have McKee lined up in shotgun.
Maybe he's trying to draw him off.
He wants the clock to be running. Clock should be running, so he wants to milk the clock a little bit.
The official took time.
All right, now the officials are discussing whether or not the clock should be rolling down.
All right, so we will get a 2:10 on the clock is what they're requesting.
And that's where it was before. So maybe the official said that the clock does not roll.
Who do I have to talk to? You.
So Buddy Krumanacher also wants an explanation. He'll make his way off the field. While we have the opportunity, I want to thank, of course, both coaches for their time and being able to speak to them leading up to this game. Little miscommunication to the clock.
Well, we're a little delayed because the clock is not showing 2:10 right now.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
There we go. It's week 2, week home opener here for the Sailors. So again, 4th and 1. Power set here for the Sailors. And running forward for the first down, a little wildcat action. Flavin goes forward for the first down.
It's interesting they give Flavin the ball on that short yardage situation with Duran having carried it previously. So I don't know if Coach Blount's thinking, hey, we're going to keep you guessing on who carries the ball.
Injured Sailor down out at midfield. So we'll take another break here. 2:02 to go here, first half. Oceanside leads Farmingdale 22-9. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages. Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages. Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages. Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages. Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages.
Did 3.
I'm sorry.
And welcome back to Oceanside. 2:02 to go, first half, and you see the teammates helping Thomas Flavin, the junior, off the field.
You don't want to see that.
Yeah, Flavin last year was the starting running back. He's been moved out to the slot when Duran came in. It's funny, in our notes, Rob Blount said he'll be used sometimes at a Wildcat, and we saw that there to gain that first down. But we certainly hope that Flavin is all right. First down for Oceanside at the Farmingdale 45-yard line. McKee, low snap. It's like a hold, and then it'll be called. He goes over the top, looking for Pladia, but this will come right back. The hold was on the outside, as it was a good rush by Levantini.
It's a big play to negate there on the holding call. Unfortunate.
When we show you the replay, it's clear as day at the top of your screen. where Levantini gets by his man, and then there's no option but to wrap him up.
Yeah, Levantini forcing the issue there.
And again, it's on the defensive side that Levantini's so good. Great motor, co-captain, 2-year starter, dynamic. Buddy Krumanacher describes him as one of those who comes off the ball and creates problems for the offensive guys, as we saw certainly right there. He's also one of the leaders for the Dalers, obviously on both sides of the ball. And as you know as well, pretty good lacrosse player as well. We saw him during the spring, Farmingdale taking on Bethpage, a game that was broadcast on the Varsity Media Sports Network. So the foul puts Oceanside back on their own 45. McKee. Again, the pressure comes from Levantini, and McKee's got to throw it out of bounds.
Oh, Blount is livid down the sidelines. I think he thought there was a hold on a receiver there, and he wanted a penalty there, and nothing doing, so brings up a 2nd and long.
Another back-to-back big plays by Levantini.
Throw disrupted by number 44, Neil Levantini.
So he gets the offensive holding penalty, and then he draws the...
Yeah, right there on the bottom of your screen, you did see there was a pull down. It looked like number 6 for Farmingdale, Dakota Mathis, got away with one there.
So 2nd and 20, 1:43 to go in the second quarter. McKee goes short over the middle. It is complete. Ball is down, though. Farmingdale is signaling they have it, and they do.
What a turn of events again here. Great defense in pursuit to the football by the Dalers, and let's take another look at this.
Yeah, Schmidt made the catch. Tries for some of that yak, right? Yards after catch. There's Schmidt making the catch.
Franco falls on top of the fumble.
And the ball is loose, and it's just, you see Franco pulling at it. Again, when you've got a guy who's number 2 in Nassau County at 195 in wrestling on the ground, you know he's getting that ball.
Right. And how about Levantini, 44? He came in towards the end, forced that ball loose. He's been all over the field. He caused that holding penalty that negated the big pass right there, jarring the football loose. Levantini on the Prospect New York State watch list for Farmingdale, just another player on this team that you have to keep an eye on here. 44 for the white and green.
So first down for Farmingdale inside the Sailors' 46-yard line. Another chance for the Dalers. They've had multiple ones. Can they capitalize this time? Lundeen flushed out, and he's sacked. Looked like Mullen on the pressure.
Daniel Mullen, number 1, making up for that drop pass in the first quarter right there with a big sack. And how about our buddy Gonzalez, Jared Gonzalez, big boy 78, getting in there as well.
This is a loss of 6, it looks like. They're back now on the 49-yard line. The Dalers' own 49, just over a minute to go here, second quarter. Short pass looking for Wilson. He makes a great catch, but nowhere to go. Again, great pursuit of the football. Joe Ruggieri making the tackle for a loss.
One of the captains here for Oceanside, passing the flat. Ruggieri was able to follow it the whole way, making the big tackle, and Farmingdale going backwards on offense.
Yeah, Ruggieri, great week 1 as well. 6 tackles for the Sailors. And this brings up a 3rd and just about Nassau County. Trips left for the Dalers. Timeout called by Oceanside. It looked like it was a personnel situation for the Sailors. I was running onto the field late.
I'm surprised Farmingdale didn't call a timeout with the clock moving before. Here's another look. Passing the flat, Ruggieri with the tackle. Just good pursuit to the football.
And that's the thing, too, again, you know that they've been coached up well by Blount and his staff. No doubt that the part of the scout or the conversation leading up to this game is be wary, no matter where he is, of Wilson in space, right? So even though that was a pass in the backfield, Wilson can then use that and just go forward. So he's got to be concerned there. And Ruggieri, again, great motor for the co-captain. 6 feet, 200, 3-year varsity, 2-year starter. Blount loves too. He says he's a guy who just makes things happen on both sides of the football. And he's also, in addition to that kind of a play, he's also that rah-rah captain, right? He gets the rest of his guys going, gets them pumped up. And he certainly got another huge crowd here at Oceanside, including the 309 to our left, excited on that.
Yeah, the 309, we learned coming in today, the 309, something that a student started 10 years ago. Jeff Rieger started that 10 years ago, 309. And it's the amount of kids that can sit safely, I guess, in that section, 309 kids. So, and it looks like they filled every single one.
Yeah, I've been to games. I'm pretty sure that number's been closer to 400.
Yeah. Well, we don't know if that sign that they show you in the restaurants, maximum seating capacity, I don't know if that's in the bleachers. We can take a look at it.
The great thing, Ben, too, about the 309 is that it's not just a home field. They will go everywhere. We saw them last week out at Hempstead as well. So 3rd and a country mile here for Farmingdale. Low snap, Lundeen gets it out to McCarthy. Makes a few guys miss. He drops the ball. The recovery is by Farmingdale, but it's not going to matter a whole lot, it looks like, because that marker that you see is actually where the drive started, so it'll be a 4th and 9.
I don't think they'll get a playoff here before the half.
From the 45-yard line.
They're going to let this go.
And that'll do it for the first half. So we saw both teams go punch for punch early on. Oceanside getting the better of the Dalers. The Dalers had a few opportunities late in that second quarter to respond. They'll get the ball coming out of the second half, but there's work to do for Farmingdale. Your score at halftime, Oceanside 22, Farmingdale 9. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Welcome back to halftime. Our score, Oceanside 22 and Farmingdale 9. We want to take a minute here at halftime to talk about the Section 8 Nassau County Hall of Fame that will be happening on Wednesday, this Wednesday, September the 25th at the Crest Hollow Country Club. It's something that Nassau County Athletics, BOCES, has started for a couple of years here, Dylan, and look at the list of names. There's going to be a lot being inducted.
Yeah, some unbelievable names as well, and some great ones have already been inducted. You know, we talk about this game, and the coach across the way, Buddy Krummenacher, one of the first inductees into the Nassau County Athletics Hall of Fame. One of the great things about the Nassau County Athletics Hall of Fame is that it's based on what you do as a high school student. in your 4 years of playing. So it's or coaching or being
Or
an official as well. Yeah,
Right.
in any way contributing. They have a cool thing out at the Nassau Coliseum, where down on the lower concourse they have some plaques, and it's just a really well done thing, and it's always a great night at the Crest Hollow Country Club.
Crest Hollow Country Club. Yeah, I know that's not the easiest thing to say. Tremendous job by Dom Vulpes and Patrick Pizzarelli at the office for Nassau Athletics, Nassau BOCES, so and the entire staff there who have put this together and are looking forward to. Tickets are sold out, completely sold out. They're expecting a record crowd, and I'm sure you'll be seeing coverage of that through the week to come. Want to take a timeout. We're going to be treated to this Oceanside marching band here. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll come back and give you the Oceanside marching band at halftime.
Drum Captain Jordan Ray, Sergeant at Tessa McCain and Gabriella Prendergast, Librarian Dario Camacho, and Samantha Simon. The Oceanside Sailor Marching Band is the USSBA 1A New York State Champions of 2004, 2005, 2006, 2008, and 2009, as well as All-State Champions for 2004. U.S. Bands 2A New York State Champions for 2013, 16, 17, and 18. Special thanks are in order for our Superintendent, Dr. Phyllis S. Harrington, Director of Fine and Performing Arts, Mr. Robert E. Brace, High School Principal, Mrs. Geraldine DiCarlo, Band Parents President, Mrs. Rosemary Prendergast.
Yeah. Set me free and give me death, there ain't no other choices. When I lay down to go to sleep, I keep on hearing voices. Little whispers in my head, man, is you fake a lawyer? Why no water, death designer, baby, pick your poison. These little demons living underneath my bed, creeping. Know the real monster lives above them all, sleeping. That subtle breathing in your closet every single evening. Thought you never see me again, looks can be deceiving. When they hear the sound of the drum, they'll be saying, oh Lord, here they come. Yeah, here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Here we come. And when you hear the sound of the drum, we'll be saying, here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages. Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages. Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages.
And welcome back to Oceanside. The lengthy but very entertaining halftime is up. We're just about set for the start of the second half. Sailors with a 22-9 lead. We will recap some of the scoring from the first half. Sailors' first drive, they went 81 yards for the score. Touchdown pass from Charlie McKee, finding Tommy Flavin. 7-0 with 7:57 left first quarter. Farmingdale responded immediately. A 4-yard touchdown run by Kevin Wilson to cap a 10-play, 66-yard drive. Tied the score 7-all with 4:02 left in the first quarter. Then Andres Duran, 44 yards to the house. Less than 2 minutes later, Ben made it 14-7 in favor of Oceanside. Oceanside then scored on their next drive as well, where the combination we've seen all first half, McKee to Pladia for 29 yards. Pladia also had the 2-point conversion, which made it 22-7 with 6:20 left in the first quarter. Farmingdale had a few opportunities to get in the end zone. Just missed on fourth down, then they ended up getting a safety, which cut the deficit to 22-9. Some first half stats for you. McKee, 17 of 23, 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. Pladia, 10 catches for 99 yards and a score. For Duran, 5 carries for 54 yards and that 1 touchdown. And then Flavin, 2 receptions for 17 yards and a touchdown. Wanted to thank Laura Amato of Newsday for her help with those stats as well. You can, of course, check out her story on tomorrow's Newsday, also newsday.com.
Well, what stands out to me is Pladia, 10 catches in the first half. I mean,
and 8 of those in the first quarter. So that combination worked early for Oceanside and really got the Sailors moving.
I mean, you got to think that he's going to be a big part of the offense in the second half as well. They really don't have an answer for him. Every time, there was a huge catch that went back for holding. That's really the only time they're able to stop number 22. He's been a big-time asset for Oceanside.
So the Sailors will kick off to start this second half. Chaccio and Wilson are deep. Farmingdale, 111 total yards of offense. They've done a pretty good job wrapping up Kevin Wilson. He had that 1 touchdown, certainly. He broke some tackles at midfield for a first down, but he's been relatively quiet in the first half.
And all things considered, Dylan, they're not, they're all in this game. They are in the game. Come back, score a touchdown here, you're right back in the game. So Farmingdale, despite the 4th and goal from the 1, they couldn't convert. Despite some other instances where they couldn't come up with the football, turnovers, they're still in this game.
From the 8-yard line as Wilson finds a burst, and there he goes! Kevin Wilson to the left side. He will go all the way for the kickoff return. You said, Ben, they were back in it. Well, there you go. Kevin Wilson with a 91-yard touchdown for a kickoff return for the touchdown.
Well, you said that they're going to get the ball on offense. Forget that. They didn't get the ball on offense to start. They just needed special teams to score the touchdown. How about that? Kevin Wilson willing the Dalers back in this game to start the second half.
And Ben, it was an interesting one too because it looked like he was just waiting to see his holes because he was kind of slow, right? He took a few steps, wanted to survey the scene, and then once he saw his hole, he just blasted through it, went to the outside, untouched for the score.
And I actually do agree with this call here by Buddy Krumanacker to go with the point after rather than a 2-point conversion because now it's just a 6-point game. And if you don't get that, it's a 2-score game, so he stays a 6. Even if you do wind up missing the extra point or 2-point, here's the return.
And good job too by Wilson's teammates. A lot of times you see a guy break deep and there's a block in the back. Nobody was touching anybody. They were making sure Wilson got into the end zone. So the ideal response for Farmingdale right out of the break, Wilson goes 91 yards for the kickoff return.
And what I was saying is, listen, if you don't make that extra point, 22-15, still a 7-point game. You do make the extra point, and now you got yourself in a tie situation at worst on a touchdown. Oh. So I like what Buddy did there, not going for 2, smart play. And Dylan, like I said, he's got himself a 1-score game right now.
And he's got Wilson going as well. And we mentioned that he was held relatively in check in that first half, but that shows you how special a player he is and how he can impact the game in multiple situations. Here he's on specials. He can catch the ball out of the backfield as well, and of course he can get his 20-25 touches as well and score from running the football as well.
Yeah, let's take a look one more time at that Prospect New York State watch list because he's on the watch list. The running back, number 34, can do it all, Kevin Wilson. But so is Nick Lundeen and Neil Levatini. And Levatini's been all over the field defensively today. The Prospect New York State watch list, that's the Farmingdale 3 players that we've been watching in this game and have aspirations to play at the next level, college football. And Prospect New York State doing their showcase April of 2020.
Fair catch on the kickoff return. Good to see Flavin back in as well. We saw him injured at the end of that second quarter. He was deep for the kickoff return. Schmidt had the catch, and the Sailors will look to respond to that kickoff return. They'll start their first drive of the third quarter from the 27-yard line.
Now we wonder what Coach Blount wants to do here to start the second half. If it's a repetition of how things started in this game, it will be up-tempo offense, spread offense, some RPOs mixed in, and a lot of guys in the slot, very much like the New England Patriots had they used Julian Edelman. So keep an eye on slot receivers here in this offense as we go to work in the second half.
First throw through the hands of Flavin. In coverage was Ramos.
Through the hands of Thomas Flavin. In coverage, number
Talk about Ramos too, impacting the game in multiple ways, kicking extra points, never leaving the field on offense, on defense as well for the Dalers.
That pass was in Flavin's hand, just couldn't bring it down on an out route from the slot position.
Here's a run up the middle. Duran gets pulled down. Tackle by Nick Franco.
And what Franco tried to do, Dylan, was a combination of let me bring him down, but let me try to punch the ball out as well and try to get one of those cheap fumbles. But Duran, too tough, man. It's hard to get him down and equally as hard to make him fumble.
And 12 yards on the first down run for Duran. Thought we might see a little more of him as well in this second half.
He's a big-time weapon here for Oceanside this year, something they didn't have a year ago.
And McKee, another completion.
Charlie McKee's pass complete to number 18.
That one goes to Schmidt.
Number 15, Will McCarthy on the tackle.
And let's take a look at the Oceanside watch list for Prospect New York State, because Duran is on that list as we bring them up. Some of the players here for the Oceanside Sailors. Duran is a junior, graduating in 2021. McKee 2022, and Logan Lyson 2023. So some young players on this list, Dylan, for the Sailors.
McKee goes deep. And there's a flag. I don't even think that was necessary, to be honest.
Flag on the play.
It'll go against Dakota Mathis.
Yeah, I thought he did pull him by the shoulder, Dylan, to be honest. I thought he did, but was it a pass that was uncatchable? Probably. Referee elected to go with it, so tough break for Farmingdale.
Well, even unnecessary for Mathis to,
of course,
make that contact. I feel like they're so concerned about that deep ball that their secondary are just very handsy.
Farmingdale territory, all the way up at the 46-yard line.
So now you go from a possible 3rd and 4, and now it's a first down inside the Dalers' territory at the 46-yard line. And some movement at the line. Looks like that's on the left side. Levantini looked like jumped.
Yeah, somewhere on the left side of that line, you had movement. So Farmingdale back-to-back penalties, and it's not the direction you want to go if you're the Dalers. We've seen them step up defensively inside the red zone, but I'm sure they want to make a stop here before that.
Yeah, so the encroachment penalty gives them a 1st and 5 now.
It's the last thing Oceanside needs.
McKee goes over the middle, and again, Mathis had hands all over Pladia. That time it wasn't called.
Yep, they kept the flag in the pocket that time. Could they have gotten it? Maybe. Pass was also a little long.
Second down.
Let's play football, Dylan. Let's play football.
What do you sound like you're tweeting like Tom Brady last night.
Guy couldn't watch the game. There were too much laundry on the field.
That was rough. Now, the good thing for me is that I wasn't like watching it as a fan. I was doing my charts here. I just wanted it as a kind of like background.
Background, sure.
So it worked.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Those Thursday night matchups, we got better ones here in Conference 1 for sure.
And there's a guy who knows how to play when the lights are bright. Duran spins up the middle for a first down.
And if you're a college coach watching this right now, you look at number 8 for Oceanside, Duran. Maybe didn't see the spotlight last year playing at Lawrence in Conference 3, but moving up to Conference 1 and a junior. Dylan, you could bet eyes are going to be on him as a college prospect.
was a big fan of his brother as well, Carlos, who played at Lawrence, and then he went on, and now he's at Utica as a receiver. Durant has an opportunity certainly to play on the next level. McKee, pressure coming, goes over the middle. He's knocked down.
What I like about what McKee did there is he tried to buy some extra time to let the play develop. He saw the pressure in his face. He didn't panic. He didn't throw it away quickly. He tried to get the play to develop as much as possible, but give Farmingdale credit. They were able to neutralize.
Yeah, Ramos was one of those in on the pressure. So 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line. The handoff goes to Duran. Gets those legs moving. He's a tough guy to put down. He gets 3 yards.
Andres Duran bounces off of his teammate for a 3-yard gain.
Brings up a 3rd and 7 from the 31-yard line.
Oceanside really can go in any direction here. They can give to Duran. They can try a receiver in the slot, or with McKee's arm, they could try one down the field. Keep an eye on Daniel Mullen at the top of your screen, number 1, single coverage.
McKee gets the call. Duran, nice block. He goes to the right side. It's a deep ball. Incomplete, no flag. Good call by you, Ben.
Well, you had the matchup that you want, and coaches are great about exploiting matchups. Mullen had single coverage and just couldn't connect there.
Considering the field position, I think you certainly go for it again here, 4th down. Worst case scenario, you turn the ball over at the Farmingdale 31. Best case, of course, you keep this drive moving, or you're in the end zone.
Well, you're not in field goal territory here, and I don't think you want to punt the ball in this position, so I agree with you, Dylan. It is a little bit long for 4th and 6, but again, you got one of the best quarterbacks on Long Island here. You've got a great offense. Let's see what you come up with. Farmingdale's defense coverage a little tighter now.
Flavin in motion to the right. McKee. Screen to Flavin, in and out of his hands. So turnover on downs. And McKee looked to be slow to get up. Pressure came on him as well. So the Dalers will get the ball right back.
Take a look at this play one more time. Farmingdale bringing the blitz, everybody to the house that time. And they had an opportunity there. There was coverage. I don't know if it would have been enough for the first down. Could not come away with it, but sending the blitz at the right time paid off for Farmingdale. And Dylan, now the Dalers have to take this. They haven't really had the opportunity, or they haven't been successful, I should say, when they had an opportunity to convert. Yes, you had the kickoff return to start the second half, but here on a 4th down stop, let's see if Farmingdale gains the momentum to come back.
And they go back to Wilson. He powers forward for a few.
And I'm surprised they didn't try something a little bit more like a 10 or 20-yard gain right there, try to go to the house right off the bat on the 4th down stop. I'm a little surprised that they didn't try to air it out a little bit more. Remember, in the first half, you did have a couple completions to Will McCarthy. It's a big target at 6'5", number 15.
2nd and 8 from the 33-yard line. Blitz comes in. Lundeen reads it well. Short pass, looking for a little bit more. Gets just past the 40-yard line. Nice reception by Ramos.
I like Ramos. I like his game at number 24, kind of like a scat back. And he does a nice job here fighting for some extra yards, able to stiff arm a defender. Here you'll see him catch it right in the middle of the field. And then waiting for a block.
2nd down. Correction, 3rd down.
Makes it a 3rd and short.
Yeah, 3rd and 1 now for the Dalers. The Oceanside crowd imploring for a defensive stop. Lundeen and Wilson, you see them getting the call from the sideline. And now he'll move quickly. Lundeen hands it off. Fake handoff. Lundeen takes it himself. He's wrapped up. Nowhere to go. Big tackle for a loss. Joe Ruggieri.
Great job, Oceanside defensively. You wonder, as Farmingdale get a little conservative on the offensive side? Again, I had mentioned it. You have a big-time wide receiver. Haven't looked his way. As we see the replay here. Right up the gut, but Oceanside was waiting.
I read it well. Ruggieri, the unassisted tackle for a loss of 1, which will force the Dalers to punt the ball. Deep alone
Dylan, we don't know the outcome of this game, but if it winds up being an Oceanside win, I think the storyline is going to be how Farmingdale had all the opportunities and just couldn't convert. For whatever reason, maybe it's an unlucky night, they just had opportunities and they're not making it happen.
Good punt by Levantini. It's down at the 23-yard line of Oceanside. 6:57 to go here in the third quarter. And Ben, you're right. I think, again, when they review this film, multiple opportunities to change the game. And in those moments, you know there's going to be probably oftentimes, maybe 6 or 7 chances in a game where the game could change. And defensively, Farmingdale's forced those situations. They've gotten those opportunities, but missing in the end zone and there again, not capitalizing off a defensive stop.
And this is a game of momentum.
Yeah.
So just think, you make that first down. You get that connect on that touchdown pass in the first half. Things could be different. The momentum could be different. Now, Farmingdale just has to continue. That's all you can do. Plenty of time left in this game. And eventually you hope that one of these opportunities will convert for you.
The key with 2 running backs. Actually, it's Flavin off the Wildcat. He'll go forward. Nice run for Flavin. Second time in that Wildcat situation. First one, he gained that first down in the first half where he went down hurt, returned obviously to the game.
And obviously this is a package that Coach Blount likes. He likes Flavin in this situation.
Runs it himself all the way to the 31-yard line.
Gets 8 yards. Flavin again on the Wildcat, tries to push forward. I think he might just get back to the line of scrimmage.
You see Oceanside going a little conservative now, keeping it tight formations, runs up the gut. Not as much passing as we saw in the first half.
Yeah, you look at the sideline, McKee's still there, so this will be... Oftentimes you see Blount go a whole series with a Wildcat situation. He's done it in the past, guys like Dylan Judd and Jake Lazaro.
Well, and you also mentioned that in the last drive for Oceanside that McKee was slow to get up, so I don't know if this is a good opportunity for that Wildcat package, give him a little breather. I know if you talk to him, though, as a flag comes on the field, he does not want to come off the field. That we know.
Yeah, Flavin gets back to the line of scrimmage again, but as you mentioned, the flag on the play was right at the runner. So a pretty key flag here. So if it goes against Farmingdale, it'll be a first down for Oceanside. Obviously goes the other way, and now it's a 3rd and long.
And if it is a 3rd and long, it kind of takes your Wildcat package out. It's not really designed plays for big gainers on that.
And it looks like should be against Krumenacher. You see looking for an explanation, gets it. Some clapping on the Farmingdale sideline. Here comes the call. Offensive holding. They'll decline this one, which will bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, good play and good decision by Buddy Krumenacher to decline that. You would think in this situation Oceanside will punt. They're too far deep in their own territory at the 30-yard line. So here, another opportunity. Farmingdale gets a stop. Let's see what they do offensively.
So 4th and 3 from the 30. That was a loss of 1. And again, you have an opportunity here with Wilson, who's standing at the 40-yard line.
He did return it to open up the second half. Either way, Farmingdale gets great field position here.
Pladia does get it off. Listen, anything you get out of that is a positive because it was a bad snap. Pladia struggled, kind of put it down. Looked like a Gaelic football play where he just gets it down and boots it downfield. But again, opportunity knocks for the Dalers. Can they respond?
Couldn't agree.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages.
The Dalers 1st and 10 from the Oceanside 40. Lundeen looks over the middle. The intended target was Chaccio. Incomplete.
And I'm surprised, you're gonna put the ball in the air. I like the idea, I'm just wondering when you look again for Will McCarthy. McCarthy had 2 big plays, Dylan, the first half. One of those went for a big gainer on a screen pass, wide receiver screen, went for a big gainer. And he's got single coverage as well. He's on the near side of your screen right now, at the bottom of your screen. And I think at some point you got to go back to him. Take another look. Take another shot.
Running up the middle for a first down and more. Looks like that's Ramos again.
It's enough for a first. He's a nice change of pace back.
We have an injured Daler. And it looks like it is again Wilson who's down, being tended to. But good run by Ramos. A 20-yard gain down to the 20-yard line. And Ramos, the junior, 5'9", 175 in week 1. Had 2 receptions for 24 yards. And a touchdown. He had 3 carries for 13 yards. Ramos also an all-county defender for Lax. He did so as a sophomore. And we'll take a quick break. Once again, their score, Oceanside 22, Farmingdale 16. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network. All right, welcome back to Oceanside. Correction, that was Ramos after that 20-yard run who went down, not Wilson. That is Wilson with the fake handoff. Lundeen takes it himself. Maybe got a yard or 2.
Another conservative play on first down for Farmingdale, little RPO, but I don't think they got what they wanted there. Wilson doesn't wind up with the ball on the left side, and it's a short gain.
Lundeen on the keep.
So 2nd and 9 from the 19.
Dylan, it's worth pointing out, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but if Farmingdale does score a touchdown here and converts on the point after, they got the lead, which is hard to believe in this game right now.
Lundeen is looking
There
for
he
just
is.
that. It's deep and caught for the touchdown.
We talked about it. He was too quiet here for 2 quarters. Will McCarthy, 15, beats his man and a little underthrown, but it didn't matter because he was wide open, Dylan, and there he goes. Tie game.
And Ben, back to your earlier point about late in the second quarter, you'd rather underthrow in that kind of a situation than overthrow, certainly. There, a wide open McCarthy just has to turn around and get the ball and basically walk into the end zone for the 19-yard touchdown. Extra point. It's not Ramos because, again, he was off and injured. The point after attempt is up and good.
Number 58, Justin Moore.
And can you believe it right now that the Dalers have the lead off this unbelievable play? We talked about it. We said it's going to happen sooner or later. They finally pick a spot. Here's the throw. An Oceanside defender falls down, which is why you had such an open receiver in McCarthy, but give him credit, too, because he did beat his man. So, Dylan, I don't know how you feel about this. They did finally convert on the opportunity, so credit Farmingdale. But now you look back and you say, how is Oceanside trailing right now?
Well, again, I think the Farmingdale defense has done a pretty good job. They weathered that early storm of those 3 consecutive drives where they concede a touchdown. You get some pressure from the edge by guys like Levantini. And to me, the defense was keeping him in it. Then it was just up to the offense to get the play. Again, we look back, 91-yard kickoff return by Wilson to start this second half, I think was really impactful for the Dalers. That gave them that jolt that they needed. And here they are now with the lead.
And if I'm Oceanside, I am going right back, fast, up-tempo offense, how we scored the first series of the game. I'm getting Daniel Mullen, 1 involved. I'm getting Flavin, number 33, involved. And, of course, I'm getting one of the captains, Nick Paleta, involved as well, 22. He had 10 catches in the first half. You can't, Dylan, you cannot go away from that. That's what was so successful in the first half for Coach Rob Blount and Oceanside. I expect to see that right here on this series.
So first lead of the day for the Dalers. Kickoff is short. It's fielded at the 25-yard line. Looked like it was Schmidt. He doesn't get much on that. So again, the 2 scorers here so far in the second half, all Farmingdale. Wilson goes 91 yards to the house for the kickoff return, and then capping a 4-play, 40-yard run there. It was a touchdown pass from Lundeen to McCarthy. McCarthy used early in the game, and now he gets back in this third quarter.
Big play receiver making big plays today for the Dalers.
First and 10 from the 34. Handoff goes to Duran. Duran is wrapped up, but he's not. No, he continues his run. Looked like 52 for Farmingdale had him wrapped up.
Franco.
And Franco is down.
Franco was down, and you also had Wilson, 2 guys that couldn't wrap him up.
Well, the good thing here, I think, as you see right away with the train, it looks like it's more of a cramping situation. A little bit warm here today in Oceanside.
Official timeout.
Take another look. And again, the wrap-up comes early, right, from Ramos. Right there. Breaks it. Continues before he gets taken down.
Yeah, Andrew Moore, number 62, got his paws on him too. So it took a whole Farmingdale defense to bring down Duran. You know, that to me doesn't really signify their offense. I think I don't know if coach is playing more ball control right now, but I'm surprised that they're not putting in the air more.
Rob Blount said that really for the past 4 or 5 years they haven't had a true running game, or at least the threat of a running game, and that's what Duran brings you. You've got to use him, I think, sometimes to set up that passing game, because if not, then people are just going to go and play deeper and just play the pass. And again, the handoff up the middle. Duran gets a first down.
And this could be a momentum thing here, too. Coach Blount feeling like, hey, we don't want to give them the ball back. Kind of want to kill that momentum. And we talked about it a lot. You got a running back here that you didn't have last year, Dylan. This is a guy that is a tremendous asset for this Oceanside team, and he's on display right now.
And they're feeding the beast again. Ramos, the 3rd consecutive carry. This one a short gain, if a gain at all.
The thing you love about Duran here is when he is met by initial contact, he doesn't go down. So when the first guy steps up, whatever defensive lineman that is, it takes a second guy on Farmingdale to bring him down. Morin's coming in for the tackle, and you need a 3rd guy to bring Andres Duran down. And I guess that's what you talked about, having the running game. It's there.
Well, again, he's so powerful. Duran, 200 pounds, just a beast. He's hard to take down. McKee goes deep, looking for Pladia again. Mathis makes the catch. What a grab by Pladia.
That was some fight. Corner, wide receiver, who wants the ball? 22. Let's take another look.
Yeah, Mathis, you got a feel for me. Now he's actually down on the sideline, so they'll have him checked out. He was called for a flag earlier. This time, you can't get better coverage, I think, than Mathis did here. We'll take another look. It's one-on-one coverage. You see the lob.
Right, there he is.
Mathis is in great position, gets his hand out, tries to knock it down. Platy, though, with his strength to make the catch. A fantastic grab.
How do you play that any better? If you're the defensive coordinator for Farmingdale, you can't say anything to the kid. It's perfect defense and a better catch. And now Dylan Oceanside is inside the 20-yard line at the 12, it looks like. And, you know, exactly what you said. Duran a couple of times, Duran right. Duran up the middle, Duran left, boom, and now you have a chance for a big play, and they connect.
$40 yards on that reception, and good to see Mathis up. And as you said, look, that's one of those where you tip your cap to Pladia and you say to Mathis, keep your head up, buddy, because you did everything you could.
And he's played a good game. I mean, he had a couple of flags on him, and then remember there wasn't a flag because he had good defense. He's been in the hip pocket of these Oceanside wide receivers throughout the course of the game. He's a good-looking corner.
Yeah, Mathis is a senior. He started about 3 or 4 games last year before he got hurt. Buddy Krumanacher says he's back in form now and ready to go.
We could see that.
So 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Duran, spins, breaks the tackle, gets to the outside, wrapped up again, and it takes a slew of Dalers to finally take him down.
Nicholas Galasso, 13, one of the first ones, or last ones I should say, to wrap him up. But Dylan, you could call 3, 4, 5 Dalers. That's what it takes to bring Duran to the turf. The other thing it's doing for this defense is tiring them out. You know, it's a lot of energy to bring a guy that big down. And when it takes multiple players to do it, I think the collective effort there might pay a toll later in the game.
Got to go for a loss of 6. 2nd and 16. McKee, quick delivery, finds Flavin on the left side. Flavin gets inside the 5.
Well, he just got himself open there. Little out route in the slot. Connecting with McKee, does the rest, and Oceanside is set up with a 1st and goal situation.
That'll be a 3rd and 1.
It's 3rd down.
That was a 2nd and 16, so he gets 15. 3rd and 1, McKee. The handoff, Flavin runs left, breaks a tackle. He doesn't get in the end zone, but he does get the 1st down.
Right, that'll do it. That'll make sure that he connects on the 1st. Nice run there. And now Oceanside really set up.
Although Flavin falls short of the end zone, he picks up yet another Oceanside Sailors 1st down.
So 1st and goal. The run and the touchdown. Flavin again.
Flavin kicks into the end zone for his
second touchdown today. And the Sailors are making that motion, keep giving him the ball, keep feeding him the ball, and that's what they've done on that drive.
And again, that's the response you want from this Sailors team. Flavin, the junior, we mentioned before, he was the guy. He was the starting running back a year ago. Duran comes in, he gets that spot, but Flavin still impacts the game. He's a receiver, but also when he needs to get a few touches like he did there, he'll still impact the game as a running back.
Reminds me a lot of Rex Burkhardt for the New England Patriots, kind of do-it-all type back.
Point after attempt is up, and it is good. So 8-play drive capped by the touchdown run by Thomas Flavin. We take a look at it one more time. Ben, too. Good job by the guys up front. You see the pressure came from the outside, but the handoff goes the opposite side. Ramos was there trying to pressure from the left.
And how about Duran? They lined him up as a fullback. He took 2 Farmingdale players out. Lead block on the way for that score.
29-23 the score. Oceanside leads it. We've got a good one here. 1:26 to go, third quarter. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And welcome back to Oceanside, the 309. Excited with that touchdown run. And back and forth we go. The Oceanside deficit didn't last too long.
and Wilson back to return.
They just needed 8 plays and 66 yards to get into the end zone. But again, watch out for Wilson here. You want to maybe try to kick away from him. They do. They pooch it a little bit. It's picked up by Chaccio, although he gets to the outside. Chaccio down the field. He's got one man to beat. And he steps. It looks like he stepped out. He continues his run. Touchdown!
I don't think he ever stepped out. Maybe Oceanside hoped he did.
A second kickoff return for a score. The first was 91 yards by Wilson. And now Chaccio takes the bit of a pooch kick. And again, it looked like they were trying to avoid Wilson.
Right.
And instead they get Chaccio.
Farmingdale says you don't want to kick it to this guy? Well, we've got 2, and you got to kick it to somebody. And I thought at the end he may have made the wrong decision going left when he could have cut right for more open field, but give him credit, broke a tackle down the sideline. Just waiting on the extra point now. Farmingdale would take the lead back by 1.
And it's no
Blocked. Blocked. Big play right there for Oceanside.
So Schmidt with the block. Let's go back to the beginning. But first we'll show you the block right up the middle.
Is that?
I think it was Schmidt.
Yeah, I think it was Schmidt.
But we'll go back. We'll show you the whole kickoff return. And we'll see where... No, we won't. I was going to say, we'll see where he picks it up.
Let's see. He didn't go out of bounds here. Right now, he stayed in.
I thought that was close because Praguglia did a really good job of even just getting onto him. He was blocked. But still, he found the way to the end zone. We are tied at 29. You don't want to miss a second of this one. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages.
And we are back at Oceanside. As advertised, 29 apiece. Again, these two teams played each other last year in the semifinals, and that was a big win for Oceanside and a big day for Charlie McKee as well in that one. All-time series, Farmingdale leads it 23-9, although since 2010, Oceanside has won 6 of the last 11 games, including that 62-33 win in the Nassau semifinals. Short kick received by Duran, it looked like, at the 30. Doesn't get much.
Second special teams captain. Durant fields the kick. Tackle made
So
by
Oceanside will
38,
take over.
Daniel McLaughlin.
33-yard line. The Dalers have certainly done it on specials. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in this second half. And McKee takes it himself, looks for an option, continues, gets maybe a yard or two.
Right.
Stayed in bounds.
I don't know if I love that play. I don't know what the design was there. Maybe trying to see if there's some extra blocking for some running room, but I'd like to see Oceanside continue to move the ball through the air. Tie game, end of third quarter. Obviously got to get the lead back. I'd like to see a little air attack.
So 1 yard run, 2nd and 9 from the 34-yard line. Closing moments of this third quarter. Ball goes out to Flavin. Flavin cuts inside of a tackler, cuts inside of a second, gets out to midfield. The flag on the play. It's a first down run if it stays. But as you mentioned, a flag is down. 309 chanting for Flavin. So he goes down just at midfield.
Well, Wilson signaled that it was on Oceanside, so I don't know what they saw over there. Bring him back a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see.
Now all the officials huddled over the football. And here comes the call. It's going to be a block against Oceanside.
Block in the back goes against
Repeat
Oceanside.
second down. So this brings them all the way back from the 45. This should count them back, I think, at 10 yards.
Let's break here for the Dalers defensively.
Yeah, this is going to be a second and long. They're back at the 35-yard line.
Dalers have only given up one touchdown in this half. See if the Sailors run a play before the end of the third quarter.
Man in motion is Pladia. McKee's eyeing him the entire way. Double teamed. And Pladia still makes the catch! A swarm of Farmingdale defenders around him. Pladia gets through and makes a huge first down reception.
Unbelievable. How in the world did he come down with this ball? And what about the trajectory of the pass? Getting through the Farmingdale defense. You got 2 defenders there, 3. And somehow he threads the needle through all 3 for the reception.
Oceanside wanted to get another playoff before the quarter, but they will not. Fourth quarter, here we come. Oceanside 29, Farmingdale 29. Don't go away. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Oceanside. It's It's not a Wisconsin home game, but they're playing jump around, and the 309. Funny thing is, the song was well before they were born, but they love it here in Oceanside.
Who doesn't love this song?
I actually saw House of Pain live. That's a story for another day. So first down for Oceanside as we start this fourth quarter. Oceanside had control early on, 22-7 lead in that first half. But Kevin Wilson with a kickoff return to start the...
Let's look at that pass one more time. Deserves to be looked at again.
Yeah, the third defender comes in late, but you see the pump fake, but McKee's eyes were always on Pladia.
Right. Well, the pass was long enough. It's so accurate. It was long enough to get past the defense. If that pass had held up, it's an interception. One of the things we haven't talked about with McKee is his arm strength.
That was 32 yards. McKee over the middle.
He's all over him.
Mathis again.
All over him. He basically hugged him coming down. That time, warranted on the penalty.
Flag falls near the 18-yard line.
So another pass interference penalty. Pladia was the intended receiver. Mathis will be called for the pass interference, and again, a 15-yard penalty. And again, single coverage for Pladia. You see him cut inside, beats him, and Mathis just tackles him.
And this is the offense that I thought we would see at this point for Oceanside. Work the ball down the field, force the issue. Farmingdale has had issues defending the receivers. And Dylan, I just think from a moving the football standpoint, from a success standpoint, this is the best that Oceanside has in their arsenal, so to speak.
1st and 10 from the 18. McKee goes to the right side. He's got a receiver. It's Flavin. He's hard to take down. Gets inside of the 10 before he is taken out of bounds.
Flavin again. Running back coming out of the backfield, lining up in the slot. They move him all over the place. Looks like he hurt his shoulder a little bit.
To an Oceanside Sailors. First down.
They'll bring up a 1st and goal.
Tackle made by number 24, Lorenzo Ramos.
From the 6-yard line. 12-yard reception. Duran on the left. He gets the ball. Powers forward. Duran is stopped. Looked like just at the end zone. No, he gets through. Touchdown, Oceanside.
It's all want to and hustle, and that's what you get for Andres Duran. What else can you say? Never give up attitude, never die. Crosses the goal line wasn't easy, but he wasn't going down without that 6. You know what else, Dylan, that he brings to Oceanside? Toughness.
Absolutely does. And again, it looked like the contact was made right at the end zone, but he powers through it and gets...
And not to say that Oceanside's not a tough football team, because I'm sure they are, but this is an added edge that you get now by bringing this guy in. I said it in the first half. It's almost like bringing in a free agent. Make your team that much better. It's going to get colder as the fall progresses. You know it. I know it. Hofstra with the whipping winds. You want to run the football in the semifinals and the championship. And if they get fortunate enough to make it to the LIC, it's cold. You need a guy to carry the ball. Andres Duran's your man.
Point after attempt is up, and it is good. So Oceanside takes the lead right back. Let's take another look. You see Duran on the left hip of McKee. There's the handoff. Watch the contact. There it is. And just powers forward. Might have got a little help from his friends as well, but that's fine. 6-yard touchdown run.
They'll tell you that play is won in the weight room in the off season. Building up those thighs, building up those legs, gaining that strength to push it over for the touchdown.
It was a 6-yard touchdown run, capping a 6-play, 67-yard drive. Oceanside back in front now, early fourth quarter. You see it at the bottom of your screen, 36-29. But now, if you are the Oceanside Specials, you need a stop here. Twice in the second half, the Dalers have taken a kickoff return to the house.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a line drive kick, a squabble kick. I also wouldn't be surprised, Dylan, if it's an onside kick. We saw that in the first half. You wouldn't expect it, but that's when you expect the unexpected.
Well, again, against Hempstead, first 2 kickoffs, again, different team, obviously different situation, were onside kicks and recovered by Oceanside.
Well, you know Farmingdale's ready for it. They saw it earlier. They're going to expect it.
Yeah, look at the hands up front, right?
Yep.
You've got
McCarthy's there. Glasso's there. Ramos is there. You're right.
Levantini's right in the middle as well.
And look at Levantini. Like an infielder.
He's ready to go.
Waiting for the ground ball.
Let's see what Braguglia brings. Short. This time it's called for a fair catch at about the 31-yard line.
I think Oceanside lives with that, obviously. I think they'd rather start at the 30 than run it back for a score.
That's Rob Mineta, by the way, with the fair catch. When I watched their film against Syosset, this kid was everywhere defensively. Unbelievable motor on Mineta. He's actually going to play baseball at Albany. Mineta is secondary for the Dalers football team. Of course, so many multi-sports athletes. He's a catcher bound for Albany. So here we go, Farmingdale at their own 32-yard line. Handoff, Wilson barrels forward, gets just past the 35-yard line.
Nice tackle made there by Casey Carlson, 55, before Wilson can gain more yards.
So he gets out to the 35-yard line. Lundeen gets the play. Man in motion. Handoff, misdirection. Lundeen takes it himself. He finds Chaccio, who's got some room to move. Breaks a tackle, gets into Oceanside territory before he's run out of bounds.
Just a situation where Chaccio finds himself in the flat. A lot of running room, a lot of space. Hard to bring a guy down in the open field and give him credit. 21 rumbling and stumbling inside Oceanside territory for a first down, Dalers.
I like that play call, too, because you had a little misdirection. You had Wilson flaring out to the right. Lundeen, again, that poise in the pocket that you have from a returning starter offside on the edge there.
Yeah, I'm not sure they needed to call that because the offense wasn't set. So I don't know if you needed to call encroachment there.
Mullen was the culprit at the top of the line.
Farmingdale will take it gladly.
And it gets them up another 5 yards to the 37-yard line. Lundeen goes to Wilson, and Wilson will fake the pass. He's taken down. What a job at the top of the screen. There you see Mullen. He gets the encroachment penalty. He gets those yards right back.
Can't say enough good things about Dan Mullen on that play because Wilson wanted to go to receiver. He was looking for someone, and the pressure forced him to hold the ball. And the other thing, Dylan, he didn't get fooled on the play. He stayed home and was rewarded with a big-time tackle for loss.
So a loss of 10 on that trick play that didn't go anywhere. Lundeen, and again, Mullen with the pressure. Lundeen out of his pocket, breaks it again, just in and out of the hands. He had a few receivers. That was Wilson who missed it. Also looking to impact the play was Jordan Smeichel.
Mullen again making himself a presence here late in the game on the defensive line. That's number 1, forcing the pass a little earlier than Lundeen wanted to throw it.
3rd and 14. Big play here. Lundeen looks to his sideline, looks for the play call. The 309 up loud, as is the rest of the Sailors crowd. Low snap. Lundeen takes it, goes to the far side, finds a man. First down. What a grab and a reach forward Looked like it was McCarthy.
Dylan, every time Farmingdale's needed a big offensive play, who do they go to? 15, McCarthy. This time lined up at the top of your screen, gets himself open, and even if he didn't get that first down, it's 4-down territory for Farmingdale, but he does lunge forward, good enough for the first.
McCarthy, 17 yards on that. This time Wilson with the run doesn't get much, maybe 2 yards or so. But McCarthy, 6'5", 210, big target receiver. Very good athletic, dynamic. So give him a yard. 2nd and 9 from the 29-yard line. 8:30 to go, 4th quarter. Lundeen has a man open. It's Chaccio at the 10. Chaccio in for the score. 29-yard touchdown.
The offensive line held up for Lundeen enough to find the open receiver. There was pressure by Oceanside. Mullen again, but they got it done, and give credit, pass catch. This time Farmingdale capitalizing in the second half, and we got a ball game, Dylan. I was going to say tie game, but not yet.
Not quite yet. These extra points now obviously loom so large. Ramos, the PAT, blocked again! Schmidt, his second block on the PAT.
We talked about it all game long. Farmingdale not able to capitalize. Here again, Oceanside making the play. We don't know if it's going to be the difference in the game. But another blocked extra point that Farmingdale needs to tie this game.
And just flies up the middle again. What a play.
But we got to see the touchdown play as well. Farmingdale getting back into the game on the tie. There's the pressure. Look at the line doing a great job. And that allowed Caccio to get open, beating his man. So, Dylan, we still have a game. It's a good thing I didn't say we had a tie game. We still have a game. Plenty of time left. Farmingdale's defense has been good, but that's a crushing play right there.
Well, Chaccio wide open for that grab. 5'8" junior. Week 1, 4 carries, 25 yards. Another dual sport athlete, a great lax midfielder. And back and forth we go. Oceanside scores on their last drive. Farmingdale, you know they need their response. They get it. They missed the PAT. And now Oceanside.
Well, Oceanside, they don't want to take the foot off the gas. That's one thing. You want to continue. But you got Duran. We talked about Duran, what he brings to the table. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see a little bit more of him now.
And this is where the run game or the emergence of a run game becomes so important, right? The later you get in the games, the more you can impact the clock. Again, 8 minutes is a lot of time. But when it gets down to like 4 minutes, 3 minutes, if you have a quality runner who can get those hard yards, who can keep that clock moving, it's such a dangerous threat for you. Ball is fielded at the 27, and not a lot. Good swarming tackles by Farmingdale. And Oceanside will have a long field to go.
Well, you're right about the time left in the game, and that's why I say you can't take your foot off the gas. You have to continue to play your offense. I would expect to see 22 and 3 involved in the air attack, but you know, earlier in the game where you may have wondered how come 2-3 carries for Duran in a row, I wouldn't question that now because you want the clock to come down a little bit. You want to maintain possession. You have the lead. And then ultimately, Dylan, the dagger would be if you can put it in the end zone with 3 minutes to go or something like that. If you could hold on to the ball here for 5 minutes and score a touchdown, I think that would be the perfect possession for Oceanside.
Yeah, 36-yard line. And again, it's an interesting situation here, too, because while Farmingdale is a more veteran team, there's 10 sophomores, 2 freshmen, a lot of them having a big impact on this team for Oceanside, so they're still a very young team.
A lot of talent in Conference 1 in Nassau County on display tonight, and we'll see it throughout the course of the season.
And there's that handoff that you were looking for to Duran, gets out just shy of the 40-yard line.
The handoff goes to Duran as he's taken down at the 40-yard line.
So you give him 3, 2nd and 7. That clock continues to run.
Scoreboard shows 1 timeout each for each team. I don't know if that's accurate or not. But if it is, then, that's something that Coach Krummenacher has to hold in his back pocket.
McKee again, the handoff. This time it goes to the outside. Snuffed out really well. That's going to be a tackle for a loss.
Ramos.
Lorenzo
Lorenzo Ramos, 24, with an outstanding pursuit to the football. That's not an easy tackle to make. Let's take a look at it right here. Right in the middle of your screen, number 24, beating the tight end and making the play.
So they go back now to the original line, 3rd and 10 from the 36. A big play in this game. Blount calls it out. He's going to look like he wants to talk it over. Nope, they're good. Or he's going to wait for the clock to go down, and there is the timeout for Oceanside. You can see it comes with 6:42 left here in the fourth quarter. We'll take a break as well. 36-35, Oceanside with the lead. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Oceanside. Big third down. And Ben, you're the analyst for a reason. What is your call here?
Put a different hat on today. Listen, the best player on this team is Charlie McKee. He wears number 7. He's the quarterback, only a sophomore, most important position on the field. You need 10 yards. I don't think you're punting it. I don't think you're going for it on 4th. Ball's in his hands if I'm the OC right here.
Plady is the guy. McKee over the middle. That looked like it was for Schmidt. Plady was to the outside, incomplete.
And he had it. I mean, it was in his hands. The pass was there. Just couldn't come away with it. That's a big stop by Farmingdale. Now Oceanside has to kick it away. Yeah, they have a 1-point lead, but now the ball will go to Farmingdale.
And, of course, both threats. Well, looks like Mineta is deep. Mineta is at the bottom of your screen.
They have Wilson as the linebacker, maybe in case of a fake. So he's lined up at the 40.
And there's the punt. It's a short one. Whoa, almost hit Mathis. You hear the calls on the sideline often. Poison, poison. That's for a reason. You can't touch that ball. And now Farmingdale will take over.
Yeah, here we go. 6 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game. And if you're Farmingdale and you were told before the game started you'd have the ball with 6:25, down 1, they would take that. They would sign up for that. This is a close game. And, run your offense, move it. Hopefully good things will happen if you're the Dalers here. Obviously momentum and revenge is a factor here as well. They've got the tailbacks to do it with Wilson and also Ramos. It's been a nice 1-2 punch for them today, Dylan.
Yeah, you mentioned the revenge. We talked about it earlier, how Buddy Krummenacher kind of downplayed that aspect of it, but there are 6 returning players. Key guys as well with Levantini and Lundeen and Wilson and guys, Chaccio as well. They were a part of that as well. They had that crushing loss at Hofstra. Wilson takes the handoff, barrels forward, gets tripped up just past the 30-yard line.
Getting a couple of yards here, a positive. Keep it 2nd and 6-ish if you can. I don't know if we're in 4-down territory yet. Farmingdale, Dylan, by the way, does have 3 timeouts, so the scoreboard was wrong. They have 3. Oceanside has 2. So plenty of time here for Farmingdale.
3 yards in the play for Wilson. Lundeen looks to pass. Plenty of time. Rolls out of his pocket to the right. And now just throws it in to the Oceanside sideline as he goes down. Mullen was in pursuit. And now it looks like Mullen is down, perhaps cramping.
Mullen has had a second gear in this fourth quarter on the defensive line, and he is limping.
So Mullen will have to come out.
That's a big loss there. You're going to lose some pressure. With a big 3rd and 7. And another timeout, Dylan. So storyline brewing here. Timeout Oceanside down to 1 left.
And so here we go. We will also take this break. You see 5:45 left here, fourth quarter. Oceanside clinging to a 36-35 lead. Farmingdale with a huge 3rd down when we return. You're watching Nassau Conference 1 football right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages.
Welcome back to Oceanside. Dylan Butler, Ben Turchin. We got the game, Ben, that we hoped we would have, that we expected that we would have between these two perennial powerhouses in Nassau Conference 1. Oceanside, 1-point lead. A massive 3rd down. Rob Blount waving his arms up, as is everyone on the Oceanside sideline.
Keep an eye for McCarthy.
The fans in the stands rising. Trips left. Lundeen goes short, and the play is blocked, knocked away. Pladia impacted it. Ramos was the intended receiver.
You had McCarthy lined up at the top of your screen, man coverage. They went the opposite side. They went to the near side where I thought there was a double. And Lundeen never looked McCarthy's way, but maybe that wasn't the play. And so, Dylan, you got to give Oceanside credit here because they come up with a big stop for themselves. But we're tight now. We are tight right here with a 1-point differential.
Pladia is deep. He just had that pass breakup. Levantini's punt is a really good one. Backs up Pladia, who goes down when he catches it, and it's a good thing for him that he did because that could have rolled another 15, 20 yards. So he down the ball at the 29-yard line with 5:33 to go in the 4th. How big now? Obviously, right? It is the 1-point game. Are Schmidt's not 1 but 2 blocked extra points?
Those are crucial. I mean, those are the difference in the game right now, no doubt about it. And last time Oceanside had the ball was 8:25, and we said, you know, it's not maybe that time where you're just only going to look for Durand. We're not at the 4-minute offense yet, but we're close to it now. So, to me, you got to get a first down here. You're milking the clock. Farmingdale has 3 timeouts. Once you get to that 4-minute mark, then you can start running out this clock.
First down at the Oceanside 29-yard line. McKee, pressured, rolls out of the pocket, does the right thing, just gets it out of bounds. Pressure coming from Nick Franco.
That's a break for Farmingdale on the incompletion. Clock will stop.
I think too often you see young players try to make a play in that situation. Good heads-up opportunity. Yes, it does get out of bounds, but it prevents maybe something a lot worse from happening. 5:28 to go, fourth quarter. McCormick just checked in. He's at the top of your screen. McKee looks for options, fires over the middle to Schmidt. Schmidt breaks the tackle, but he gets the first down out at midfield.
And give 18 credit because he dropped the ball on the last series on 3rd down, but this time he comes through with the reception out to midfield and a first down. That's a big play.
21 yards out to the 50-yard line.
Sailors, first down.
Just an in cut by Schmidt.
A lot of mustard as well on that throw. Perfect opportunity where he steps up in the pocket with the pressure coming. First down at the 50.
Tackle made by number 15, Will McCarthy.
McKee goes deep, looking for Pladia. And this time, Mathis makes a great play.
But that has been the matchup of the game today. Mathis on Pladia. Sometimes Pladia wins, sometimes Mathis wins. Pladia's had some unbelievable catches, and Mathis has had some unbelievable deflections. And right then and there, you see a win for Farmingdale.
2nd and 10 from midfield.
I like the play call, though, Dylan. I really do. And I said that you got to still be aggressive on offense, and that's the right call.
2nd and 10 from the 50. Of course, the incomplete pass stops the clock at 4:56. Twin receivers at the bottom of your screen. The handoff, it's a delayed handoff, and it's taken by the quarterback, and McKee gets right back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, I'll say that's probably the latest I've ever seen an RPO develop in my life. McKee kept it as long as he possibly could until he decided to tuck it down. And, he saw the Farmingdale defense come up, so he figured I have a better shot at this. No gain.
So here we go. 3rd and 10 at the 50-yard line.
It's amazing these two teams have stepped up defensively here late in the 4th quarter.
McKee. Flush out of the pocket, rolls left. He's going to take it himself. He's wrapped up. About a 5-yard gain.
And it made Coach Blanc's decision harder now. It's 4th down, 4 minutes.
4th down at the Farmingdale 45.
You'd give Farmingdale great field position if you don't get it here. Decision time.
4th and 5. And Blount looks like he'll bring on the punt team. But again, the riverboat gambler that he is, I would not rule out a fake punt here.
Here's why I agree with the punt. You have the lead. You're at home. They have to come up the field. Your defense has been phenomenal. Give them the ball and see if you could stop them with your D.
High snap. The punt is off. It is a good one, end over end. It will take a little bit of an Oceanside bounce before it stops shy of the 15-yard line. So as you mentioned, Farmingdale will have a long field to go with 3:16 left to play.
I mean, there's plenty of time here for Farmingdale. Their offense doesn't move down the field as fast as Oceanside's. Theirs is not as explosive, but they do have 3 timeouts in their back pocket that they can work with. So you still keep the running game in check. That's still a factor for you if you're Buddy Krumenaker. You can still go to the run if you want. But at some point, Dylan, you've got to look at McCarthy because he's your big play guy. He stretches the field. He's a chunk yardage guy. You got to find a way to get him involved.
1st and 10 from the 17. Both sets of fans making noise. The Farmingdale faithful on the opposite sideline. Lundeen hands off. And there's Chaccio. Chaccio breaks a tackle. And he's gone. Will he be caught? He will not be caught. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
Wow. What more can you say? The running play. We haven't seen a running play that long develop today for Farmingdale. And at the end, towards the end of the game, it does.
83-yard touchdown. Well, there's your big game possibility.
And now I'm thinking go for 2. Make this a 7-point game. It looks, and plus, Dylan, they've had 2 blocked already. So at this point, touchdown wins it anyways. I'm thinking 2-point conversion here.
I would agree with you.
Farmingdale sets up.
What a job by Chaccio. Faked handoff. Lundeen goes over to Wilson, and he'll, Lembo with the 2-point conversion. And there's those
Lembo.
2 points you make up.
That's right. Christian Lembo, the junior, coming right out of the backfield, turning around, and there's the ball. Take another look at this. There's the end of the run for the touchdown.
Yeah, I thought for a second there was an opportunity for McCormick to catch him, but Chaccio just put on the afterburners.
And then let's see that 2-point conversion to make this a 7-point game. Keep an eye on 33 right in the backfield, and then just goes out for the reception.
Yeah, he and Levantini often come in on tight end sets. Both obviously bigger guys. They are more impactful on the defensive side. But the way this one is setting up, and it has for this entire, you'd say, second half, it feels like whoever has the football last is going to win this game. I mean, these are heavyweight punches back and forth for both teams.
And Oceanside, their offense, they can move the ball at will. Farmingdale's played much better defensively in the second half for sure. But 3 minutes, a timeout, they got plenty of time as well here.
And what we've seen from specials, too, this could be big. A little bit of a pooch. It will be fielded at the 35. A dangerous reception there for Oceanside. Nearly turns into a turnover. But here we go. Oceanside will start this next series exactly 3 minutes on the clock.
We wouldn't want it any other way, right? At home, down by a score. Home crowd has your back. Farmingdale seeking revenge from the semifinal loss last year. You got the sophomore quarterback.
1st and 10 from the 37. McKee, as he's been all game in shotgun, trips right.
Oh.
And flags on the play.
Don't want to start like that.
Flag on the field. Full start goes against the offense. The 5-yard penalty makes it 1st and 15 from the Oceanside 32.
So you back him up 5 more yards.
I mean, I think Oceanside is going to be looking for chunk plays regardless. 10, 15, 20-yard plays. Not sure it really means much, but still don't want to go backwards.
Again, trips right. McKee does go that way. Finds Schmidt, splits 2 tackles, and Schmidt runs out to the midfield. He's tripped up from behind.
It's the Thomas Schmidt show right now here in the second half in the fourth quarter, coming up with 2 big-time receptions, and just like that, Farmingdale territory right now for the Sailors.
Just curled inside, got that much-needed yak. Now the dump pass down low. There's Mullen. He powers forward.
McKee getting all his receivers involved here. Mullen, I believe, his first reception tonight. Close to another first down.
Timeout, Farmingdale. 2 quick bursts there for Oceanside. Buddy Krummenacher wants to talk it over with his defense.
First charge timeout of the second half.
First timeout for Buddy. Take another look. There's the catch, breaking 2 guys. Tackle on that play.
And then he gets pulled down from behind. It looked like it was Mineta who made the catch from, who made the tackle from behind. But you mentioned the Farmingdale defense, maybe a little bit tired at this point. And Oceanside, no matter, it's been a Blount specialty, moving it quickly and getting the team down the field. That kind of 2-minute offense, they're so good at it, especially when they get into a rhythm. They were doing it with either Hugh or brother, and obviously they're doing it here as well with McKee.
Yeah, and they obviously they want to pass the ball. They don't have to pass the ball. They still have Duran. We talked about that. 2:24 on the clock. Timeout. Clock stops on a first down make. So, Dylan, the point is the running game is not out of the mix here.
So you had back-to-back completions, 25 yards and then 9. It sets up a 2nd and 1 from the 34-yard line, 2:24.
They're going to line up empty, spread them out with 5 receivers.
And you got trips right. You got 2 up the top of your screen. McKee wipes his hand on the side of his pants and goes left. Goes deep. It's just dropped. Again, there's that matchup we've talked about. Mathis coming up absolutely huge. I believe it was Pladia
Receiver is number 22,
It was.
Nikki
who
Pladia.
was intended.
However, the pass falls incomplete.
Well, we should do cut-ups of all of these plays against those two and send them to somewhere so people can see just what a fight and a battle it's been between them.
Yeah, it's been one of those games inside the game, right? And
yep. And I think today it's almost like a coming out party for Dakota Mathis. His coverage skills are phenomenal.
they've gotten a lot better, too, in the second half. He got called early for some of those pass interferences. 3rd and 1. McKee takes it himself. He is hit hard.
Should be enough. Clock will stop and then reset after it's placed down.
Franco with the tackle. They will move the chains.
Starting to hear the chants from 309. He's a sophomore. And it is hard to believe if you watch this game and didn't realize number 7, only a 10th grader. Here's
Look
pressure.
out. Franco.
That's killer, Dylan. That's a killer. Coming off the blind side there. McKee never saw him, and that really brings Oceanside back. And the clock is moving.
Loss of 9 on the play. 2nd and 19. Minute 30. McKee goes over the middle. That's complete to Schmidt. He gets just outside of the 25. Not a first down, though. And the clock continues to run.
2nd and manageable, or 3rd and manageable, rather.
Setting up 3rd down near the Farmingdale.
The chunk plays that have kept Oceanside alive in this game, and it's another chunk play.
So 16 yards, under a minute to go. 3rd and 4. Trips right. Schmidt to the left of McKee. Pump fake, goes deep. Schmidt looking for the end zone. Intercepted.
Charlie McKee's pass is intercepted by number 23, Rob Benetta.
Wow. Can we see that again?
The intended receiver was Mullen. And we talked about how Mineta impacted the game a week ago. Flying all over the field. No bigger play this season for him than this. The double.
Yeah, he was in front, Dylan. He was in front of the receiver. He played it perfect. Little underthrown. And to come down with that football this late in the game, that is a tremendous effort for Farmingdale.
31.8 seconds to go. And remember, Farmingdale trailed 22-7 in this game. They will go into victory formation with 31 seconds left.
Dylan, to come here, opening night for Oceanside. This is a tremendous win for Farmingdale.
Yeah, you could talk revenge. Is that a factor? I'm sure the guys in the field who were on that team last year will talk about how sweet this feels to go to Oceanside at their home opener and win under the lights. But I think just to do it the way they did, down 22-7, Oceanside is rolling. And again, there's so many different plays in a game, but you have to look back at Kevin Wilson's kickoff return to start the second half. Really seemed to signify, again, he's one of the captains, one of the leaders of this team. He said to his team, listen, I've got you. We're bringing you back. That had a kickoff return. Chachio, what an impact he had as well in the second half. And, of course, Mineta then as well. He's a catcher during the baseball season. He makes a great catch there in the end zone for the interception.
And all I could say is give Farmingdale a ton of credit, because in the first half they had some breaks go against them. They couldn't capitalize, but they figured it out. Dylan, they had the big plays in this game. They may not have been able to capitalize on some of the smaller plays, like the 4th and goal touchdown that went, the pass went a little wide, but the big plays they hit on, and I think that was the difference.
Absolutely was, and you see the two programs lining up for the handshake, and what a win this is for Farmingdale on the road to come to Oceanside to win. And again, lost twice last year. Only 6 returning players for Farmingdale, so they're not inexperienced, but a team that doesn't have as many varsity starters returning as Oceanside. And what a big one this is in week 2.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Oceanside's road this year is going to get more difficult. They have to go to Freeport on October 4th. They'll still have to play Massapequa, so we're dropping home here. That's going to be tough to swallow here, but it's early in the season, only week 2.
Yeah, they do have some tough games ahead, but I do have a request. Let's get this one again, right? This was an unbelievable game for both programs. They'll both take something from this game without a doubt.
100%.
That'll wrap things up here from Oceanside. Again, the final score, Farmingdale 43, Oceanside 36. For Chris Sweeney, our man doing all the graphics, as well as Ben Turchin, of course, as well. I'm Dylan Butler. Thanking you for joining us. We'll see you soon. Again, Nassau Conference 1 football right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.